This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Please note the thoughts, opinions, jokes, and every other bad taste that the guest and the host of Hobie, aka The History of Bad Ideas, is of their own, is not associated with any companies they may work for, any firms they work with, any advertisers, or anybody else in general. And remember, it's just a joke.
Alright. It's about comic books and movies, growing up with Rokusuke, Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale is just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Jeff defends Aquaman, Blake's just not listening. What? Jason impersonates Michael Caine.
Some people just want to watch World Buzz.
Jeff nails another draft day.
Nailed
Blake's
it.
top 5 has 98.
I got
Jason
one more.
just loves him some Kevin James.
Fucking Kevin James.
It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's the history of bad. LaCroix. It's the history of bad ideas. Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 205. From the Bob Studios, I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And that's it. It's just us two right now.
Just us two. We are expecting a guest to show up.
Yes, we will have a surprise guest, hopefully, in a little bit. But in the meantime, it's old school.
Yep.
Jim partied too much with the Bengals beating Pittsburgh Steelers last night.
No, you missed the
What?
Steelers beat the Bengals.
No. I went to bed. It was 20-10. The Bengals never blow a lead with Pittsburgh.
No, the Bengals never have a bad second half.
Marvin Lewis is the king of adjustments at halftime. I don't understand what the problem is. Did they lose?
Well, yeah, they lost.
Oh, that's a shame. Anyways, I heard it was more like rollerball out there with the injuries.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they wonder why fans don't care as much. It's because they're killing each other.
What they need to do is just stop these two teams from playing each other. I mean, it's...
New divisions.
Yeah, just get them, throw the Bengals in the South. I don't care.
How about if the Steelers and the Bengals... It's kind of like soccer. If one team's bad, they switched conferences. How about that? One team's good.
Relegate them?
Yeah, I like that idea. I never was a fan of that. After last night, I kind of am a fan of that. Can we just be in the AFC South? No one's in that division. Well, Tennessee's started, and Jacksonville's getting better.
Jacksonville's looking real good this year.
Well,
they got the best defense in the league.
Let's be real. After 87 first-round picks, they should be good.
Well, yeah, you'd think that, but look at Edmonton.
Look at the Browns.
Or look at your fantasy hockey team. Oh, yeah,
My fantasy hockey team is 0-17-1.
And you even got a Canadian to help you with it.
Nickel did not do well. He was on his honeymoon.
Yeah, I can't believe he helped you out. He's on his honeymoon.
That was a waste, wasn't it?
It's like, damn, I could have been doing something much better, but no, I helped Berger with his fantasy
I'll be honest,
hockey.
I kind of thought the same thing. I could be doing something a whole lot better than right now than drafting. We're in a fantasy hockey league for a while. My team made the playoffs last year for the first time in 6 years. Just to let you know, 8 of the 12 teams make it. So 6 years in a row, my team was in the bottom 4. And this year I have yet to win a game. I've 0-17-1.
And you have 3 first-round picks on your team? Well, not anymore because you traded one away.
No, I had 2. I had 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, and then I traded you who I drafted in the first round, traded them to you.
That doesn't sound as good for me now. Fuck. God dang it.
After I realized, having all these centers isn't going to help me because I need to fill out my team with something other than centers.
Nope. Welcome everybody to Sports Talk with Jeff and Jason. Blake, we're going to have to fire up the Blake bot number 2000. The issue is he has dengue fever.
Yeah, virus is just going crazy on the Blake bot.
I am Blake. I went into the women's room.
It wasn't the I love you virus or something like that?
No. Oh, I forgot about that one.
That's the only one I could think of. I'm like, what are all those computer viruses?
I feel like it's more their father-in-law virus. I feel like that might be it. Might be it. And we had to stop our sports talk because our special guest is here. Andrew from the Cincinnati Comic Expo. Welcome.
Yay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're not pimping your expo already, are you?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. September 12th through the 14th. Anyways, anyways, moving on. No, we're not pimping it this week.
I think I was bringing an advertising check.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. So Hobie is good enough to get sponsored for at least one more year?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little hesitation on that.
Shut up, Jeff. Shut it.
Gotta make you sweat.
Actually, it's not so much me. It's more my wife. Like, are you fucking making money at this yet? Every Tuesday. What are you doing?
No, but when we, had a couple weeks off,
She did.
Complained about you being around every Tuesday.
She's like, "Don't you have a fucking podcast to go to? Stop annoying me." Yes, I'm sorry. So Andrew is here. He's going to sit with us. You're going to play the role of Blake. So I'm
you gotta
sorry.
be crazy and homeless.
Yes.
And be the angry one.
He is a little angry. I will say that. I've turned into the positive one of the podcast.
Yeah, you actually have been, which is scary.
Yeah, it is kind of scary. I don't know what happened. Maybe kids?
I don't know. I thought that would turn me even more negative than I already am.
Depends sometimes. It depends. So Andrew's here. Excited to have you back. We haven't had you in a long time. I think it was August was the last time. Right before the expo.
4 months.
So before we do anything, real quick, we're not going to talk too much, but did you know that you had international fans at the expo? Chris and Kevin from the 365 Flicks podcast.
Oh, that's great.
They came on. They spent an hour on their episode just talking about it. So felt they presented Cincinnati in a pretty good light. The expo was in a great light. Cincinnati, pretty good light.
I don't think they had anything bad to say about the
Except
city.
the bar we went to the one night. It wasn't bad. It was just odd.
What was their favorite thing about the convention?
They were impressed with the mass of people there, the amount of people. They thought the guests were great. They enjoyed that. Who did Chris get?
Chris was... Excuse me, I'm chewing on ice here.
You're right there?
Chris was thrilled with Miriam Margolyes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. She doesn't do very many shows.
No, he was thrilled. That's the one he really, really wanted.
We were the first U.S. signing for her, and she's only done, I think, 2 other appearances in total. So it was like the 3rd convention signing for her.
And Kevin was excited about Kel. So
Kel Mitchell.
Yes. Yeah. So I missed out on his autograph. I went to go get him because we were basically podcasting the whole time. And so when I went to go get him, he was leaving. I was like, no! And then Saturday night we stayed downtown, and as we were leaving, Inconceivable was coming in. So into the hotel, I was excited. I didn't bother him though because it was like, you're outside the expo. I don't want to bother you. You have a life. Go. Just go. And my wife's like, hey, I know him. I was like, well, it's pretty good that my wife knows somebody at least.
So the rumor was Wallace Shawn didn't like saying inconceivable to everybody. And somebody said his people were telling people not to ask him to say inconceivable or whatnot.
Do you blame him?
But that's what he's known for.
No. Dinner with Andre.
That's true.
Don't forget that movie.
I can't forget it. I'm the one that keeps bringing it up.
I've never seen that. I've never seen this fucking movie.
The thing about being an international coming over to the States probably is that you see different guests than you would over in your home country. Because we try to bring in a few people in from Europe because they don't come to the States very often. So if you're in Europe, you see probably when you go to a European show, you probably see a lot of the similar guests that you would see at other European shows. So coming to the U.S., it's probably like a whole fresh batch of everything from artists to celebrities to everything's different.
They said it was the biggest convention anything they've been to. Because they're outside London. They're in a small burg.
They're just up near the border of Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they've come to other expos or conventions, and they said by far it was the biggest in that. So they loved it. I'm trying to get them back this year to come because what's his name? I can't say his name. Andres.
Andreas Molinari?
Yes, thank you. He said it so well. It sounds like a Batman villain, though. He does The Shepherd, and we interviewed him. He does the comic, or the graphic novel, The Shepherd, which was awesome. And he's doing a second, I think his second one is coming out. And he's actually booked for the expo next year.
Oh,
he already booked it, and he's a big. Him and Chris and Kevin are friends in that, and so I'm trying to talk them into coming over again. To come on, you gotta go now. This guy's coming. The Batman villain.
Batman villain.
Andre's Cobblepot.
I'm sure he'll love that.
Yeah, he likes us.
But yeah, he was a great interview.
Yes.
I mean, everything was smooth and like it's like, oh my God, we've already been talking so long. It's we're almost done with the show now.
Because we're not a big interview podcast.
Not
we're more
really.
topical. So when we do have an interview,
Or more conversational, not question answer type thing. But
speaking of that, I do have we are going to be interviewing a director from England, from the UK, for Winter Ridge. He was on 365 Flicks podcast. I actually am interviewing him this weekend. That will be on 2 weeks from now, I think. So I'm excited to do it. He has a lot of a lot of stars in his movie in that, and it looks pretty good. It's about a serial killer that's taking out the elderly, and it's well done. The trailer is very well done. Comes out in January.
Like taking out the elderly with like the
for dinner.
suicide
For
pill?
dinner. No, for dinner. They're just going to go out to Perkins.
perfect.
Yeah.
No,
In Europe, they got Perkins.
Yes, we don't even have Perkins in Ohio, do we?
They got the best pancakes.
Is there a Perkins around still?
Yeah, there's one in Fairfield. So.
Okay.
So it's been a while since I've seen one, so I don't remember.
You know, we moved out here, and I was excited because there was a Perkins, and then literally, it shut down the week after I moved in. I was like, really?
Oh, Andrew's here. Shut it down. Forget it. No, he is a serial killer, and he's just killing the elderly, and you don't know why. So I think it has something to do with Alzheimer's too. Is hinted at in it.
I think it's because he wants them dead.
That could be it too. So I'll be talking to Dom this weekend, so I'm looking forward to it. We were going to do it last weekend, and then my daughter was having some difficulty after her surgery, so that was not happening. That was
Stupid life getting in the way.
yeah. I felt horrible, but he was really great about it. But yeah, so finally after a week and a half of tonsils, aneroids, and tubes in the ear, she finally was back to normal. And have you ever seen a 3.5-year-old go through roid rage? They gave her steroids.
Oh boy, I've seen your daughter. I can't imagine.
Hey! She is feisty.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine her on roids.
Last Friday night, I was expecting her to punch a hole in the drywall, in the wall in her room. It was about 2 hours of hell. We went to Kohl's, and I had to basically carry her out because she was throwing a tantrum, and she usually is the even-keeled one. She's feisty, but she's even-keeled. It was not a good night last Friday night. This past Friday, actually. So, yeah, it was a little rough. So, I do not recommend roids. So, even my 10-month-old, when he was on roids for a cold or sickness a while back, he was not good on roids either, a 10-month-old. It was not fun. So, yeah. So, I can't wait till next time he takes roids when he's 2. Can't wait. So.
You're looking forward to it already. Huh?
Oh, yeah. That's my down. Jeff, what's your down?
What is my down?
Okay, move on.
The weather
Andrew,
getting cold. I don't like that.
that's my up.
Oh God, no.
I love the nighttime. I love that it's dark by 5:30.
Oh, that's the worst part of it.
No!
That's the best part. Now the Christmas lights are on.
Screw the Christmas lights. They disappear in January anyway. January is even worse than December.
Well, you can be depressed in January. Then you get upset that it gets dark early. But December, it's nice.
In December, it's okay.
In December, it's okay.
No, it's not.
There's nothing more.
The sun should be out till at least 8, if not 9.
Not in Christmas time.
At any time. That's all I want.
No.
Yes.
No. I like it this time of year.
I love it. I love coming home. It's dark.
Yeah, the month of December.
God, no. You people are crazy.
No, it's nice.
People who want to have to spend more money on energy to get things going. I have to heat the house, use a lot more lights. I mean, no.
When did you become your dad?
My dad was never this way.
Oh, okay. This is why I'm the positive influence of the podcast.
No, you're the one who wants to waste money. God, come on.
I always like it when it's like 8 o'clock-ish, it's dark outside, Christmas lights are on, and it starts snowing. That's
Yes.
No.
On a Saturday when you have no place to be.
Snow is the work of the devil.
No.
There is nothing good that comes of snow.
I don't like when you get like a half inch of snow. If you're going to give me snow, give me a freaking blizzard. That's what I
no.
want. That's what I want.
8 inches. Have a good day.
Yeah, that's it. Call schools off. We're done.
Yeah, said by people who are allowed to take off work when it snows.
I do like the weathermen and the traffic people on the local news. They always go, well, if you have no place to be, it's Tuesday at 7 in the morning. Where the fuck do you think I'm going? I gotta go to work.
You've got no place to be at work.
Unlike you, lady, I need to go. I can't just not call it. I can't just not go.
Well, they're at work. The people say
that's
that.
true.
That's their job telling you don't go to work.
And they have a shower that they can just work it through. Anything you're up on this week, Andrew? Anything you're excited about?
I'm almost done decorating.
Oh, for Christmas or Halloween?
For Christmas.
Okay.
I've been done with that.
We didn't do much for Halloween. We hardly did anything for Halloween this year, just because the way the dates the expo fell, and then we had two of my wife's grandma passed away in last month, so it was very chaotic the whole month of October. We just didn't have time to decorate. So.
Do you have a lot of stuff for Christmas, inside and outside?
We do more inside. Like outside, I do the traditional, outline my windows with multicolored lights, and I'll put some of the big bulbs across the roof. I'll put a plastic snowman out there. So it's like I wouldn't say it's nothing. It's more than a little. So it's, I guess, a medium. The number of lights on my house is probably medium.
You don't have the guy that has the penguins sliding down the hill and the big snow.
No.
The people you see on Christmas Light Fight.
No, that's not me. But now everybody's buying these
projectors. Is
Yes.
the thing. Yeah.
And,
The lazy man's way
that's
of
what I said. That's what I told my daughter the other day. If you buy that, it's because you're too lazy.
to do anything.
Projectors are great if you just keep them out all year round and change them for the holidays.
What holidays in we got Valentine's
Day.
No, that's a fake holiday.
Pink hearts going across your house.
No.
And then, St. Patrick's Day in March.
Just have drunken men on the stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So if you just, it's an easy way of celebrating every holiday.
No.
See, that's what I don't like about Christmas is everyone will decorate for Christmas and no other holiday except maybe people like Jason who get crazy on Halloween.
I do love Halloween.
But it's like,
Jason did a nice job of Halloween this year.
he did.
I had a animatronic zombie kid in a playpen this year, a kid's playpen. I was advised by 7 parents, I counted, that I am sick and twisted. And then 3 of them said, "But I appreciate your vigor towards it. Like you did a good job with it."
Yeah, I'd like to do a haunted house in the backyard for kids to do, but there's so many little ones in our neighborhood still that it's just kind of.
Yeah, because I keep wanting to make a coffin that the kids have to go through to get to the candy, like a coffin walkway. And my wife said, no, not until they are a little bit older.
Yeah.
She was not sold on the playpen idea either, but then I put it up on the day of Halloween, so.
No.
In case anybody doesn't know, Jason and I live in a fairly new subdivision. It's only
Yes.
like 6 years old. And
Yeah, they both live in this gated community.
It is not a gated community.
it's not.
Looks gated to me.
Shut up.
It's just missing the gate. No.
I can't believe Earl let you in.
But, yeah, so with
It's a
the.
fence, I just said gated.
There's a lot of young families. The average age, I'd say, is what? 35, 36 in this
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
So a lot of young kids.
I think they said at one point there was 700 and something kids in the subdivision.
Right.
Yeah. And that was before it was finished. So there's a lot of kids. A lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
But yeah, it is a little.
I just think of all the field mice you displaced for this.
Oh, I know.
Subdivision.
Field mice and frogs.
Frogs the first year. My backyard was covered, and my lawnmower went through. It was like the Holocaust of frogs. It was bad. They were a little rough, and my son kept saying, "Don't run them over." I really can't help it, buddy. There's about 80,000 in
Tell
front
them
of
to
me.
get out of my grass, and I won't.
I felt bad, but not that bad. I didn't care enough. I'm actually not even doing Christmas lights this year. We got. Just because of everything being busy and that, we did decorate the inside, and my wife did put the wreaths up on the house, but I just couldn't do it because I could only get the lights up this coming weekend. And I looked at it, I was like, it's 17 days. Why the fuck am I doing this for 17 days? Forget it.
I don't understand why you do it for an entire month.
A month I can tolerate.
A whole month.
I can do a month.
That's how I feel sometimes. If I don't get a month out of it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel if I don't get 16 years out of it, it's not worth it.
We're just going to have the lights on all year.
Yeah. But because I didn't do Halloween this year. Usually, then I'll go more on Christmas because I feel like I got the extra energy and the motivation to do it. So,
How about Thanksgiving? You get your Thanksgiving lights out?
Yes, I get my.
The most pointless holiday? Ugh.
It's not the most
Can't
pointless.
stand Thanksgiving. Arbor Day might be worse. Arbor Day might be worse.
Hey, they made a Charlie Brown for that one too.
They did too. It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown. They planted a tree. And they really did.
See, Arbor Day is better than Earth Day, though. Come on.
No.
Yeah.
I love having hippies walk.
I remember when I was in grade school. Quick story. In grade school, so we're celebrating Earth Day, and what did the school give us? They thought it'd be a good idea that we all released a balloon tied with string, and on the end of it we put our school address on it with our name to see how far the balloons would travel. So we're all outside the school parking lot, 230 of us, all holding balloons, and we all let them go at the same time, going up into the sky.
Unless they're biodegradable balloons, that's a bad idea. That's for Earth Day.
Come on, this was the 80s.
So it was okay to litter in the 80s.
Yeah, there's trash everywhere back
I never even
there.
heard of Earth Day until the 90s.
There's a lot of Native Americans crying back in the 80s.
Back then, Earth Day was looking up at the sky and saying, "Oh, how beautiful it is! Let's litter it."
And then the bird crashed into
Were
it.
they red balloons? Like the
Now
Dana
they're all
song?
like 99?
multi-colored balloons, and we just let them all up and put our names and addresses on them with the school, and then throughout the next year, 5 or 6 of them get reported back.
5 or 6 of them get sent back for fines for littering.
Here's your citation. Speaking of trash, Matt Lauer got fired this week.
That guy
Lauer,
is
not
trash.
That guy is trash.
I was just reading something just today, some of the things that he did, and I just couldn't believe it.
He had a button on his desk that closed the door so he could be private with women.
Well, they were talking about this roast that happened back in 2008, and all the bad jokes that were told, and one of them was if somebody had did a top 10 list like David Letterman, and number 2 was David Lauer likes to eat curry, which is his co-host name.
Oh, Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer likes to...
And it was just the whole thing, all the jokes were like that throughout the whole entire night. So obviously everybody knew about this for a long time, but everybody was just shh.
Hasn't talked about it.
Right, this is ridiculous.
Well, there was rumors, and there's just rumors, allegedly, that he had multiple affairs, and basically his wife said, "I'm taking the kids, we're moving to the Hamptons, have a good day. You can come visit when you want." And they basically just lived a separate life. So,
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah. He was a piece of shit. So there you go, Matt Lauer. We're never going to have to talk about you again because you're never going to have another job.
Well, what did I see, though? I was at, what's his name on the late night? Seth Meyers.
Oh, yeah?
Seth Meyers, I think he had a thing about, you're talking about the button.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no good reason to put a button under a desk. Anybody who's having a button installed under their desk, it's for nefarious reasons.
Either a trapdoor.
Yeah. It's like, if you are a desk button installer, as soon as someone requests one, you should probably look into the cops.
Let's see here. Speaking of prestigious, though, the Floppy Awards are coming, people. End of the year Hobie Podcast Awards. We are in the final throes of our voting, so get them in. We have, I think, 10 celebrity guests this year that are doing, and by celebrity I mean podcast friends, that are doing nominations and winners. So Besotted Geek got the first one in, so we appreciate it.
Oh, it's already in.
Yeah, it's due December 10th. December 10th. So, because December 17th is our big end of the year. We have to...
It's our round table.
We do one episode, and then we also do the Floppy Awards. It's pretty exciting. Andrew, if you get bored, come on down to the Bob Studios this year on Sunday the 17th. We got about 7 people coming, so we'll be all voting. And if you vote for Gotham for best comic book show of the year, you're excommunicated.
No, he can do that. I mean, geez, it's only the 3-time champion.
Should not be a 3-time champ. Shouldn't even be a 1-time champ.
Well, apparently we really liked it for 3 years. Well, for 2 years and then as a joke for a third.
I feel that Riverdale might win it this year.
I know Riverdale won't win it.
It's not even in the finals. It's Lucifer, Flash.
Who's watching Riverdale?
Jason! It's his favorite show on television.
I love Riverdale.
Jason, his
Are you watching like as a joke?
I started it as a joke, and now I really am invested in the people. I love Jughead.
I did that one time with a TV series.
Which TV show? Dynasty?
No, it was the one about the what if scenario. Amazon did it about if America had lost a war, World War II.
Oh, Man in the High Castle?
Yes, that's it.
You started that as a joke?
I watched it. No, I didn't watch it as a joke. I watched it just to watch it, and then after I got to like the episode 4, I was like, God, this is so boring. And then I was like, well, I got to finish it because I want to see what happens. And let me tell you, the ending is just like stupid.
Well, then they renewed it for a second season, didn't
Which
they?
I couldn't believe. They had no payoff. There was no payoff.
I watched the pilot. I enjoyed it. And then I'm like, how the hell are you going to make this a series? Like, but you're right. After 3 episodes, I was like, I'm fucking bored out of my mind in this thing.
Oh, I was. But I kept watching it. I watched the whole thing.
That sounds familiar with what I did with Inhumans.
Oh.
I heard nothing bad about that.
There's nothing good about it. It was...
They made a big production, but they aired it in movie theaters.
Oh, yeah, they did it in IMAX. I was waiting for that, and I was looking forward to it, but, it came out, and, well, one, I didn't see any ads or anything, like, saying, hey, it's going to be out in IMAX, and then the day it was in IMAX, or I think I saw it the next day, it was in IMAX yesterday, and I went, I even went to the movies yesterday.
The only reason I knew it was an IMAX, a buddy of mine is a manager at the AMC.
Yeah.
And he offered, hey, why don't you come down and watch this? We're showing it. And I couldn't be bothered for a free ticket.
I was actually down at the levee that day. And then we drove to Oakley to watch a movie. I was with my brother, and it's like, we'll go up there because I had to drop him off in that neighborhood later in the evening or whatnot. And so I was down there, and then I'm like, we could have just went there and watched. But then I watched the episodes on television. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't pay my money to see that because it was worse than I thought could have been possible.
When the fans don't like it and the what do you call it? The reviewers.
Reviewers.
Yeah, reviewers don't like it. Then just stay away.
Critics. That was
Critics. Yes, if the critics don't like it and the fans don't like it, stay away.
I was thinking, everyone's dogging it, but I don't think they just won't. They just don't get what they're trying to do. Then I watched it, and I'm like, I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to do anything?
Yeah.
It was I mean, it's like I like the Inhumans. I liked a couple different takes that the comics did on the Inhumans. But that was just a mess of everything, and they didn't know what to do. So I vote no on the Inhumans.
Okay, so let's move on from the crappy Inhumans to what is the greatest thing in the world. The Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer is coming out Thursday.
That's the greatest thing in the world.
Shut up, Jeff. Do not ruin this for me. I don't have much, but this is something.
I don't know how this is something that I mean...
Did you like Jurassic World, Andrew?
I did.
Thank you.
Did you think Jurassic World gave you anything different that Jurassic Park didn't give you?
Yes! Yes! It was an actual fully
Jurassic Park Jurassic Park is a classic.
Exactly.
Jurassic World, though, was a fully functional amusement park. That was awesome. I loved it. And the going up to it, the little online stuff they had, you could look at their video cameras, their security cameras before the movie came out, and everything was going on, like people were in lines and all that. And then when the movie came out, it was just chaos. People were running and everything. It was awesome. It was great marketing.
I'll give that marketing stuff. I do like the viral marketing. And
It was
whatnot,
awesome.
But it was a...
It had Chris Pratt's abs.
Yeah, that's...
Chris Pratt is a god.
Did they show his abs?
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Just his arm.
He didn't even get shirtless. Come on.
No, I don't think they did. He did. I don't think so.
I don't remember.
But the new one looks awesome.
No, I like my favorite dress is Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you where I sat in the theater, who I saw it with. I was in row 3 on the left side of the theater, end seat. That's how much I remember watching that movie. That's how impactful it was to me.
Yeah.
That was the only seats left.
Yeah, but it was crowded if you were in row 3.
Oh, yeah, and that's when the seats were like right on top of one another, and you're all sandwiched in like sardines. And we were at Forest Fair Theaters when we saw it with the big arcade outside. and that's when my friend Kenzie took me, and he had already saw it. And I said, "Oh, I haven't seen it. I got to see it." And he goes, "Well, it's a really good movie, so I'll see it again." So we saw it together, and with his family, and they all couldn't sit with us, so they sat in other seats. And that was like 3 weeks after release too, and it was still that packed.
I remember going with my dad to see it. It was his Father's Day gift for me because he said he wanted to see it, and so did I. So I took him for Father's Day, and we went opening night. That was one of the first films I think I saw on opening night, and God, that thing was beautiful. Just when they bring the crate down with the dinosaur in the beginning, you don't know what's going on. The guy gets
yeah.
God, that's awesome. Jurassic World, I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. Was it a classic? No.
That came out in June?
Yeah. I'll get exactly where it was.
Wow, okay. I'm just, for some reason, I thought I was at school, college, when it came out.
June 11th, 1993.
So I might not have seen it until September when I was back at school.
It was out for a long time.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jurassic World, I get that people have bitch about it.
I didn't think it was bad.
I loved it. I really did.
I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it was necessary and didn't really add.
This is coming from somebody that loved Jurassic Park 3. I enjoyed Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, I didn't hate Jurassic Park 3. 2 was terrible.
2 is horrible. Yeah. And people love 2 above 3. I'm like, have you seen 2 recently?
I think
it's not good.
I think it's just they wanted to, 3, I suppose it really didn't add stuff, but 2 is just flat out bad.
The gymnastics kick through the raptor. You are not kicking a raptor through that window.
And the whole, oh my God, there's a problem on this island. Let's get the mathematician to go investigate.
Yeah, who thought of that idea?
You taking Jeff Goldblum's character as
He's in the Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that would be good. I could see after what happened
coming back
in
saying, "You fucker,
World,
I told you."
What happened in Jurassic World, I could see how they could write him in. He's jumping back on every chance to come back in a movie.
Yeah,
He's worse than Harrison Ford and going back to...
I'm Harrison Ford. I'm going to do Indiana Jones 17 next because I'm going to be 102 years old. I can still be an action star. No, you can't, Harrison. Let it go.
He could still be Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, I know he's an action hero, but it's more, for me, when I watch Indiana Jones, it was about all the action. It was about the exploration, the storyline, the plot, and didn't have to be all action.
Well, for the action, you could bring Mutt back.
Nah.
No, nothing. Come on.
I'm just waiting for him to get back and do a new Hollywood Homicide.
Oh, yeah,
Him
with
and
Josh Hartnett. Take a drink. We have never heard Josh Hartnett.
We've discussed Josh Hartnett before.
That's true. No one else does. We're the cutting edge podcast that talks Josh Hartnett.
But, when I watch Jurassic Park, or I hear the music, I always instantly transport it back to 1993, and I always remember sitting next to my buddy Kenzie watching that movie every single time it happens.
It was, like I said, I love Jurassic Park. I still watch. I don't know. I think it just might be the kid in me because there's giant dinosaurs everywhere running amok.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
When they get off the Jeep and he's like, oh my God, and he grabs her, turns her head with his hand.
Yes.
And then the music starts playing and you see the big brontosaurus. That just, that right then just sold me on the whole movie.
Jurassic Park 3, I saw the storyboards, the sketches of what they cut out, and there were some really cool scenes they could have done. There was one that Sam Neill character and the whole group, they were whitewater rafting basically down this river, and I think it was the raptors came out, or the Spinosaurus, one of them came out, and it was cool because you had the dinosaurs on the edge, and they were trying to get them, and it was like, that's a pretty cool scene. That would be a pretty cool scene. There was a lot of stuff they cut from it, and they said it was only an hour and a half long movie. You could have made that 2 hours and been fine with a lot of the stuff. I think 3 I love so much, or I like a lot. Yeah. The pterodactyl scene in the terrarium or whatever it is. That in the birdcage.
Terrarium.
Sorry, not the terrarium. The birdcage. When the kid is on the bridge, and the trailer, I still remember this in the trailer. It's all foggy, and you just see 2 sharp horn things, and it's actually pterodactyl's wings. But you don't know that. And then it looks like this giant monster is coming, and then it comes out of its the pterodactyl, or whatever the proper name is for it. That is one of my favorite scenes. Is the whole pterodactyl scene. Can I put that on my top 5 tonight?
No, yeah, except top 5 is Star Wars related.
It's so good, that pterodactyl scene, that's going to be infiltrating the Star Wars top 5. Little teaser there. So we did get we're on Twitter on Bad Ideas Podcast. A lot of people tweet us, so we appreciate that. So anytime you have questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, send it on over. Also on the History of Bad Ideas Facebook page too. Got a lot of pop culture news on there, so check us out. From Randall Holt, the wife just turned on Polar Express. ... Help me.
Oh,
There's no hope for that. I can't
Turn it
do
off?
it. I can't do it. It's creepy. I know you're a Polar Express fan, Andrew.
I do like Polar Express.
Have you seen it?
apparently
Gabe had a birthday party about 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
He had all his friends over. It was a PJ party because his birthday is December 23rd. So it was when I got my big projector screen in my basement, and I had hooked up a fog machine. So when the train comes, and it's all my big loudspeakers and everything, and they didn't know, and I shot the fog. All the kids went nuts.
that's cool. Unfortunately, you have to deal with creepy Tom Hanks.
Homeless Tom Hanks.
I think that movie, the way the graphics are done, it's kind of like it stands out from everything else almost. That it makes it very unique.
Well, it does because it was very early in the motion capture before they actually got it to work properly. So everything done after it is good, but they didn't really do anything before it for an entire movie.
Yeah.
You know, they did, what do you call it?
Motion capture?
They did motion capture for Lord of the Rings or whatnot, but just for like certain
Gollum and
creatures,
certain
Gollum
creatures
and a couple things. But I think like they thought, we'll do it an animated movie in motion capture, and like, the animation just was not good. The kids all look creepy and possessed.
Okay, so that is Robert Zemeckis does that one. Did Polar Express.
Right. Sounds right, yeah.
Okay. Where do you stand? Like, where do you think he is in the realm of directors in that? I feel like he's a very niche person.
Wow, I was thinking he's more of a makes movies, for mass consumption where...
Does he, though?
Where it's not... He tries to... I don't feel like he has a huge, point of view and, a very stylistic approach where it's here's stuff, enjoy it. Yeah, I don't think he gets too deep into anything.
He did actually the last movie he directed, like a major one, was A Christmas Carol in 2009.
Oh, and that bombed.
Yeah, it did. That was Jim Carrey, wasn't it? I think it was.
That was the
I had that.
animation
I had
one?
that on
Okay,
Blu-ray, and Disney hasn't released it since that Blu-ray when it came out.
Really?
I believe, yeah.
So it's the Song of the South for the Christmas movies.
It might be. Somebody said they may not ever re-release it again. I think I read on a Blu-ray forum somewhere because people are like, when are they going to re-release it? And
Is there a big calling for that to be released? Did you like it?
I honestly, I've never watched it.
Oh,
I own it, and I never watched it.
He had a lot of CGI areas. He had Polar Express, Beowulf.
He did Beowulf, huh?
As a director. And A Christmas Carol, all 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And then before that, though, he did Castaway, which I never knew. I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah, that's
Tom
right.
Hanks?
He worked with Tom Hanks.
Robert Zemeckis directed it.
Directed it,
With
yeah.
the Tom Hanks movie, Castaway.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie's amazing.
If it was 2 hours long. 4 hours long kind of kills me.
It's not 4 hours.
It feels 4 hours.
I just watched it like last month. It's not 4 hours.
And you just got done now? That's pretty impressive. That fucking volleyball.
When I watched it, I think I watched it when it was on television, so it had all the commercials.
Oh, geez, that's like a 2-day event.
Close to 4 hours.
What do you think happens at the end of that movie? Because remember at the very end of the movie, the girl with she has the wings on the back of the truck, and then he's just sitting there and he's just staring and looking.
He doesn't know
all the different which way to go. Where do you think he went?
I never gave it much thought. I thought it ended where it's like you can go anywhere now, and
I feel like
I hate endings like that. Give me a fucking end. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me an ending.
You can say fuck. We're exposed.
Make make sure we get to check before he knows we can say fuck.
Yes, we are explicit. We have a warning at the beginning. No company endorses us. Well, here's the thing. I really feel like he could be a serial killer at the end of that, and I would be okay with that ending. Because he had a rough life. And then Helen Hunt said no to him.
Well,
No, she said yes, and then he said no.
Because it was 7 years or whatever.
No, she said no. Then when she found out she was lying, and she ran back out in the car and they hugged and kissed or whatever. And then he said no.
I will say that was pretty dedicated. They took a 6-month gap between filming the beginning and the island.
well, that's not dedicated. Boyhood was dedicated.
Boyhood was dedicated. That was, 18 years?
I think it was just 12. But
Yeah, it was a good movie. Boyhood was a good movie. Not the greatest thing, but it was enjoyable. Let's see. He also did What Lies Beneath with Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford. That was a good movie, the horror movie. I like that
Never
one.
seen it.
Yeah.
Contact. Oh, God. He did Contact.
Oh, we did Contact.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
Well, maybe he's a little better than I was giving him credit for.
Forrest Gump. Oh, there's your...
No, that's
That's why
awful.
I'm
That's
thinking-
awful.
what?
I'm sorry, Andrew. How are we friends? You
Forrest Gump is
no taste in
awful?
comic movies. Forrest Gump is awful.
Man, you
I would watch
guys.
Jurassic Park 2 above that.
No, that's.
Run, Forrest, run. Whatever. Jenny was just using him.
We all know that. That's why you love Forrest so much.
Oh, he's... no, forget it.
I don't think that was his kid. I think she lied.
I agree. Nobody claims Haley Joel Osment anymore.
You really think you don't?
I
You
hate
do
Forrest
not
Gump.
like Forrest Gump.
I hate it.
I agree. Yeah,
Ever
no.
since episode 1, I have bitched about Forrest Gump anytime someone brings it up.
And you don't like Castaway.
No. I was bored by it. It was impressive, like, what they did, but I didn't care.
All right.
He's on an island. whatever.
Castaway is one I don't think I'd want him to ever rewatch.
Unless Gilligan or Skipper on it, I don't really care about somebody on an island.
All right. What else did I was there?
Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was one good movie in that trilogy.
2, thank you.
2, 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
One was the only good movie in
No,
that.
you're wrong.
1 and 3.
See, this is why
Three! The Old
this is why
West
we're friends, Andrew. We got Jurassic Park and we got Back to the Future.
was terrible.
The Old West was awesome. And the last
that
one was
was the
great.
best.
Except Open Range.
No.
Oh no! When Doc dresses him up in the '50s classic cowboy outfit.
What's your name? Clint Eastwood. Love it. Let's see.
Back to the Future 1. Good. The rest of it,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That was actually on tonight.
Oh, I love Roger Rabbit.
Instead of putting that
could
on
have
it,
been better. I always felt like it missed the
I
mark.
felt as a kid it was creepy.
Oh, it's supposed to be creepy. It's
kid.
not made for kids.
When I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I thought it
I
was
was
pretty
like, man, I missed a kid in the movie. I always liked the
Baby
bullets in the
Herman?
gun.
Baby Herman.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts when he pulls the bullets out in the gun and they're like the cowboy bullet and the.
I feel
And
like
the
Bob
Indian
Hoskins
bullet.
killed that. And you know what? I kind of feel like I liked every other character except Roger Rabbit, who I thought was fucking annoying. And I hated Bob Hoskins in it. He was so over the
That
top.
was pretty much the two
I know.
characters.
I had an issue with it. I love the side characters. I had a choice tonight to put in the green room, the TV. It was Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Battleship. I chose Battleship.
You chose wrong on that.
I chose both. Both of them were wrong. See, look, Jeff, look how great it is. The aliens are attacking.
Yeah, no.
Battleship wasn't that bad.
I never saw it, actually. I've never seen it. I just heard.
The idea behind Battleship was that bad that they shouldn't have.
He directed one episode of Amazing Stories back in the 80s. That was a
And
good
Steven
shit.
Spielberg
Romancing the Stone.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a long
did
was
like
a
time.
Romancing
yeah.
the Stone. People are going to hate me, but at least as a child, I thought Romancing the Stone was better than Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ooh.
As a child, I liked
better
Romancing
than Temple
the
of
Stone
Doom.
better. No, yeah, Temple of Doom was crap.
I like Temple of Doom. You know what?
And you don't like Forrest Gump?
Okay. This
Forrest
is...
Gump is the Temple of Doom of...
Here we go. I don't know if anybody remembers this. I love this movie. My parents or my dad always watched it. Used Cars with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one.
movie.
I don't think that's even out on DVD or Blu-ray.
It is out on DVD because I had a friend who insisted I borrowed it.
You didn't
to
like
watch
it, that's right.
No, I didn't even watch it.
Oh, I thought you
After
didn't
a year, he's like, "Do you still buy DVD?" I'm like, "Yeah." Did you watch it? No. And he's like, "Well, I was, you gave it to me. I didn't say I'd watch it." Boom. Get to it, I'll watch it. But then he eventually took it back.
My dad has it on VHS. I'm not kidding. It's on VHS. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
So there you go. I'm trying to think if there's any other. He did some Tales from the Crypt shows. I loved Tales from the Crypt growing up.
Yeah.
Loved it. So there you go. There's the rundown of Robert Zemeckis. So what do you think? More than you expected?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Yeah, I didn't realize
he did Romance in the Stone.
Did he not do the sequel?
No.
Okay.
What was the sequel?
Jewel of the Nile.
There it is.
Jewel of the Nile.
No, it wasn't anywhere near as good. But
I remember the
Those
sidekick was
movies all
annoying.
came out when Indiana Jones came out, because there was also the Alan Quartermain series.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible. Those were not good.
Was it better than Sahara?
Yes.
What was it? Zahn? Stephen Zahn?
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey and Penelope Cruz.
Yeah. They were.
Oh, yeah, Clive Cussler, who wrote the
He
books.
hated it.
He will not let any of his books, he'll not give up the rights for them to become movies anymore. I think that was, there was another one that they turned into a movie, and I can't remember what it was, before Sahara. And Sahara was trying to convince him that the other guys, didn't do it right. We'll do it right. And then they did it. And it's like he hated it. It flopped at the box office. So I don't think you'll ever see any more. Whoever Dirk Pitt, is that the name of the character?
Dirk something.
Dirk Pitt, I think. You'll never see any more Dirk Pitt movies.
He did write, Robert Zemeckis did write the Tales from the Crypt movie, the second one, Bordello of Blood.
He wrote that?
That was
He wrote
funny.
that?
That was funny.
Oh,
Dennis
man.
Miller. That was a funny, and not as good as Demon Knight. I still say Demon
That
Knight.
had Corey Feldman in it, right?
Demon Knight.
No.
Bordello of Blood.
Yeah, that had
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Demon Knight. It did. Yeah, there you go.
I just watched that recently, I think about 2-3 months ago.
He was Caleb Verdox. Was Corey Feldman. I loved Demon Knight. I thought that was a very well done movie. Okay, so anyways, we'll get to listener feedback now. Go ahead, Jeff. You can start it. You can do it.
Oh, well, let me find it on the outline.
Since your brother's not here this week.
Well, you started stealing from him anyway.
I know.
All right. Here we go. We'll start with a listener named Apans.
Former number one fan. Still number one fan.
He asks, should Chris and Kevin from the 365 Flicks podcast be concerned as Meghan Markle is influenced and channeling the those who shall not be named's style?
I feel like the monarchy is a wasted thing anyway, so I think she should steal everyone's style. That's
Okay.
my take on it.
She's the one engaged to the Prince
Harry?
Prince Harry, yeah.
Prince William's the other one, right?
Yeah,
He's the one
Prince
that
William's the one that will be king someday.
Yeah, so is Prince Charles someday.
No, Prince Charles will probably die before Elizabeth.
How
so.
great would that be? I wish death upon him.
She's like not happy with Charles, so she's going to hold on until.
Is that how you do it? You just will yourself to live? I guess if you're pure evil.
I think that's what my grandmother did.
We talked about
We
that last
discussed,
week.
yeah.
I feel like she is pure evil. I have no problem with that. Yes, Chris and Kevin should be concerned about that. Hey, we answered a question.
Well, I don't know. Should they be concerned about anything that happens
In the monarchy?
Yeah.
No. Chris is a big fan of the monarchy, though. He always talks about it on 365. He's a huge fan.
I'm still a little confused as to how she now isn't allowed to act anymore. It's like, oh, you're part of the monarchy. Now you have to go on welfare.
Well, here's the thing. It kind of goes back to the douchebag Matt Lauer, who might be up for the Worsley Award of the Year.
Ooh.
Yeah, so... Anyway,
Over Weinstein.
Weinstein, I just wish, a stroke on. Anyways, allegedly. Anyways, moving on. Matt Lauer. The funny thing is with him, it's like he was making $24 million a year. He could save 1 year of that salary and be fine. I don't fucking feel sorry for him. He's 59 years old. Fucking retire on an island. Never talk to anyone again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, for however many years he was making $24 million a year, he put all that away and was living off of everything he made before that. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's set for life. He doesn't need to work again. There's no way I can feel sorry for that guy.
No, I don't feel bad. Anyways, go ahead. So moving on.
Moving on, we're going into corrections.
Andrew, you should be looking at this one. Go ahead.
From Big Dav, he says, the D60 hats are a little too early. D is the Roman numeral for 500. You'll need those in 356 more episodes.
I'm going to go with number one fan Doug. He said this stands for 200 because we hit our 200th episode.
Yeah, he said D is the Roman numeral for 140.
Yeah, I don't think that's right, but we're going with it. We're going with it. Some Disneyland hat. You like those?
Where'd these come from?
Number one fan Doug gave them to us as a congratulations for hitting 200 episodes. He said the D is 140 in Roman numerals. So we have not corrected that.
That plus 60 is 200.
Yeah. He's full of shit. But it sounded good. So he gave us all one of these last week. So see? Look at that. D60.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah. Big Disney fan. Big Disney fan.
Oh, I should have worn mine.
Did you take it home?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you going to wear it out in public?
I wore it that night.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't I wear it in public? It's a big D and a 60.
In public, you wore it?
Speaking of Disney, I just saw that Pete's Dragon, the new one.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I have to apologize to the listeners. I made fun of that for many, many months because I fucking hated the first one. I really like the new one. It was well done. My kids really love it.
Yeah, wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And Robert Redford actually did something in it. He was decent.
You're the only one who dogs Robert Redford.
Oh, The Natural. Come on. Was he dying of internal bleeding? What was happening at the end of that?
I don't know. I didn't particularly care for The Natural.
It was. He was good in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I thought he kind of
Well, it's Robert
overchewed
Redford.
the scenery there once he turned evil or showed that he was evil.
Spoiler.
Yeah. That's 2 years old now, 3 years,
like that.
whatever it is. Also from Dev.
Ooh.
Also part of the corrections, yes. While I agree with Blake's pronunciation of Oregon, I don't know how Blake pronounced it, but Dev agrees with it. No one said it right in episode 204.
Found that hard to believe.
Yeah. I was corrected by somebody from Oregon not that long ago. There is no gone at the end.
Well, until somebody from Oregon comes on our show, in person.
In person?
It's kind of like Kevin Feige from Marvel. I don't know how to say his last name. He comes on our show, then I will say his name correctly. I don't know how to say it.
I'm about to say one of our podcast brethren are from the state, and he might correct you on how to say it.
He's not in the studio.
He has to come in the studio.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like Andres Morolani. He needs to come on our show.
He's not on the show.
Okay, he needs to come in the studio. Okay, in September when he talks to us, I guess I better say it correctly. What's your stance on a guest punching a podcaster at your expo? Is that okay? Just asking.
Not okay.
Time out. We did have a quick on Twitter. This is how it works, people. We put it out there that we're recording.
Oh, a live tweet.
Oh, yeah, we live tweet. Andrew. This is from number one fan Doug, A-Pant. Tell Andrew I bought the VIP pass early last year, and it was well worth it. Great deal. So look at that. Look at that.
Yay.
Doug did say next year he is going to podcast a little bit more. He's like, I got to find a way to do it, so.
No, the VIP is the way to go, and it's going to be looking at a little bit of an overhaul for next year.
Ooh. You did a meet and greet.
Better stuff?
You'll see.
A meet and greet with Hobie.
We're actually...
That would be great.
Yeah, we're taking a look at everything for the convention for next year. It's what we're planning on. Everything from the fan experience to security, again, to everything in general. Just making sure we're doing everything the best that we can for our fans.
Can we do a lightsaber tournament?
Since they don't want people hitting each other.
I guess that would probably be good. I guess that would. After I said that, probably didn't make sense.
You should have came to the year 3 show. We did that.
Oh. It is impressive seeing some of those guys, like the AKA professional ones that do it. Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Of course, then you watch the Star Wars behind the scenes and like Phantom Menace or any of them, and it's like they're just having giant sticks. It's like, that's not as impressive as what it looks like on the scene. Damn it. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Moving on from Chad Rose.
Oh, he's up for the Canadian of the Year.
He's up for the Canadian of the Year, and he wants to ask if British Pez didn't work, would a visit from Remy LaCroix work on winning a floppy?
Oh, you misspelled my name. You missaid my name. I'm Remy LaCroix. Do you know who Remy LaCroix is? Andrew?
No.
We got fans, I'm not kidding, have sent us many Remy LaCroix things. There's one of them. She's a gentleman's actor.
Gentleman's actress, yes.
Gentleman's actress. She likes hula hoops. We actually got sent from a fan an autographed picture of her. It's hidden away because we prefer not to put nudity out in the studios. Yes.
No. You prefer not to. We would love to see nudity in the studios all the time.
But we got an autograph. She is an adult film actress. She's a fan of the show. And unfortunately, the fan that bought the autograph photo, actually spent more on shipping than what the photo cost. But it was okay. We appreciate it.
It didn't come bent, so that was...
Yeah, it didn't come bent. That's right. So, she is bendable. Anyways, moving on. What else we got?
Are we answering his question?
Yeah, that would work for a floppy. I'm happily married, though, so I don't know if that would work for me.
The problem is, I don't think there would be many floppies around if she showed up in person.
I got what you did.
Okay. Moving on. Shot at Pittsburgh Nerd. Here's some big news.
How do you like those? How do you like those Bengals beating your Pittsburgh Steelers last night, baby?
No, you should
20-10.
You should have stayed up after halftime.
I didn't stay up after halftime. 20-10, baby. Oh, 17-3 then. Yeah. How do you like that? Warm apple pie there.
Or 23-20.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's some big news that I'm sure will make Jason happy. Sabrina the Teenage Witch is getting a 2-season order from Netflix. And takes place in Riverdale.
Riverdale's universe, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, probably the city of Riverdale, too, huh?
No, it's across the lake.
Oh, okay, yeah, the other side of the lake.
Dawson's Creek. Sabrina Teenage Witch, it's a more serious take on it. Melissa Joan Hart will not be in it. But I'm excited.
A more serious take? You mean a more serious take than what Riverdale is to Archie? Because that's a terrible take.
Shut up.
Terrible.
Have you seen Archie's abs? I'm secure myself. Archie's abs.
I know. You keep sharing them on Twitter with everybody.
Anybody that makes fun of Riverdale, I just send a little picture of Archie lift up his shirt for his abs. Not as good as Veronica, though.
No, Veronica's the only reason to watch.
I like Jughead in it. He's pretty funny. He likes him.
I mean,
I've
seen the actor, Cole Sprouse, whatever his name is, who was on that Disney show at one point with his twin brother. But I've seen him. He seems like a nice enough guy and whatnot because I saw him interviewed or whatnot. But the character of Jughead, annoying as fuck.
No.
Yeah.
No. I really do love the show. I'm not just saying it to get you going. I really love Riverdale. I love it. And it's having the second highest ratings on CW, baby.
Behind?
Hobie, because we could probably get good ratings on CW. We have 7 listeners. It's better than anything else on CW. No, Flash is number 1.
Oh, okay.
Arrow has fallen a little bit. Which I'm fine with. I got 6 episodes of Arrow on DVR.
All right. Now, moving on, Tony from Salty Language.
Hey, Tony.
He said what he's learned by listening to Hobie episode 203 with Jeannie.
Of Hobie.
That would also be Tony's wife.
Yes.
But he has learned the ball pit weight limit.
Yes. There's a weight limit in the ball pit.
No one wants a rookie fister.
Nope.
Make sure it's okay to tenderize the meat. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember that discussion.
I don't think you want to. Keep moving.
Sounds like I've been picked up by Hobie.
Hobie has signed Tony.
Okay. And wheelchairs are not as funny as I thought they would be.
I remember that one, but that's pretty rough. Aren't you glad you sponsor us? Moving on.
Look over there, a decoy.
Grab it.
From Pam Morris, she wants to know, anyone watching The Good Doctor? I'm actually enjoying it. It is a little far-fetched, but likable.
Anybody watch Good Doctor?
I have not.
Nope. I wanted to.
We started VCRing it.
VCRing it?
Yeah, that's VCR. No, TiVoing it. We started
VCRing it.
I meant to say DVR, but
okay.
And honestly, I can specifically say TiVoing it because we use TiVo. Yeah, my sister watched like the first episode and said she didn't like it, so I said, get rid of it then.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually watched it, but it hasn't.
Anything my wife and I start watching this season has been canceled or will be canceled, so it's pretty much pointless to watch new shows now.
I mean, I like.
Yeah, I agree with that. There was a great show I loved, and Amazon killed it. With
Amazon, The Tick.
No. It takes place in the 1930s Hollywood. Oh gosh, what was it?
Hold on, I'll find it for you here.
I watched the whole series and couldn't get enough.
Last Tycoon.
Yes.
It was one season, right?
Yeah, but it was going to be more seasons, and then they canceled it.
And you said it was on a cliffhanger too, right?
Yes.
You know why they canceled it? So they could throw gobs of money at getting the
Goliath.
no, I was going to say the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Right.
$230 million
Just to get the rights.
just to get the rights.
That's
It'll be
not
worth
production
it.
costs.
They better have every spin-off. They better have like 18 spin-off shows of this, of Lord of the Rings, to make their money back.
No, there's enough fans of Lord of the Rings to eat it all up. It's like Star Wars for fantasy people.
I'm figuring, Netflix would do it, but they only had like
I thought
$1.
Star Wars was Star Wars for fantasy people.
Shut up. It's a
Sci-fi.
sci-fi.
It's not sci-fi. There's
Shut
no
up.
science in it. God.
Okay, Star Trek fan.
I'm not a fan of Star Trek, but at least it has science in it.
Speaking of Good Doctor, sorry to jump back.
No, go ahead. Get back on track.
Okay. Speaking of Good Doctor, did you ever watch the show The Good Witch? I love that series.
Good Witch.
The Good Witch?
Yeah,
I've never heard of this.
No, I
Really?
What show is it? What channel?
I guess a lot of females might watch it, but I
Oh,
love
the
it.
Hallmark Channel.
Oh yeah, the Hallmark Channel.
I think that's parental blocks for my television.
I love that series. They come out like a new one every year.
Is
I
it an
think.
actual witch?
Yeah, they've had a couple movies here.
Yeah, they come out like a new
It's a
movie.
TV movie.
Oh, it's a movie.
Oh, no. It's a TV series. Here we go. Good Witch. Good Witch will take viewers on a new magical journey with Cassie Nightingale and her daughter Grace. When Dr. Sam Radford moves in next door to the Grey House with his son, they are charmed by the magical mother-daughter duo. This sounds like a porn. It does not sound right, Andrew.
It's on the Hallmark Channel? No. Everything sounds like a porn when you read the Hallmark Channel description. Then you watch the movie and it's not.
The business owners compete for a best decorated shop. What are you watching, Andrew?
Just watch an episode.
Time out. Okay, so this is the synopsis of episode 4, season 4, episode 1. I don't even know. The business owners compete for the best decorated shop. Period. A prophecy is unearthed in the basement of City Hall. What? In the same episode? You got to say either with a decorated shop or the prophecy. No.
No, I thought the mingling, I like that idea.
I'm sorry.
Matter of fact, it probably saves the show from being a show about decorating contests.
There's been 4 seasons so far. So there you go. It's
So they do have a lot of mystical or magical stuff going on, and
Nah, maybe hinted towards it more than anything. But it is a
so it's not like the librarians or something.
no, nothing like that.
I like the librarians.
I know you do. I don't know how. Is it Noah Wiley?
Yeah, he's kind of cool, but he's only in it every once in a while.
Yeah,
But-
watch The Good Witch, and when I come back, tell me what you think. Just watch an episode.
The whole town. Another episode. The whole town anxiously awaits the impending blooming of the Middletown Merriwick. But when the plant is cut, it has dramatic impact upon the Merriwick women. Again, sounds like a porn. I'm kind of worried about this. Grace begins to suspect Nick is going to ask her out. These stories should not be in the same episode.
Said from the guy who pushes Riverdale on
There's a
everyone.
serial killer loose, killing everybody in town. Will Mary go out with George tonight? I don't know. Find out.
Sounded like a Riverdale plot.
Shut up.
No, seriously. There was a killer on the loose, and the whole thing was who would get a sticky maple. Come on.
When 2 guests arrive at the Grey House and are immediately at odds, Cassie uses her magic to ensure that the 2 guests realize they belong together.
Sounds better than Bewitched. I'll give them that.
They will, until they realize they belong together, every day in Middletown will be just like the other one. So it's Groundhog Day.
Day, yeah.
Sam tries to plan the perfect date for Cassie, but various nuisances keep getting in the way.
You could stop reading all the every episode. We're
Damn you, Andrew, I'm kind of intrigued now.
over an hour into this, and we're still on page 1 of the outline. You realize?
Just promise me you'll watch an episode or two and tell me what you think.
Okay, let's get to the listener reviews with Des Hassing. Let's do that one. Skip the next couple.
Skip them.
We'll get to them.
Listener reviews from Des Hassing.
Our most educated listener.
So, the verdict on Crisis on Earth X
Which is on CW.
is pretty darn good, A-.
I've heard nothing but good things about
A
it.
little corny campy, but the world is dark and full of terrors. I mean, full of awesomeness, and campy can help. My only complaints, the ending was a little too much for me, and the Ray seemed underpowered.
The Ray is always underpowered.
What's the Ray?
Oh, no, that's Adam, sorry.
Played by his name is Ray.
Brandon Routh.
Yeah. Ray Palmer. Yeah,
Everybody
not
has
Ray.
said that the Crisis one,
This was the crossover between the CW
all
shows.
4 CW shows, it was amazing. They said it was a great great miniseries.
Do you have to be watching the shows? You can
No.
watch the miniseries without having all the or the crossover without having all the.
Yeah, on our History of Bad Ideas Facebook page today, I posted the trailer for Black Lightning on the CW.
You did.
I really enjoy it. I like the trailers. The two trailers I've seen for
Did
it.
not see it. So they are actually developing a Black Lightning show.
Yeah, it comes out January, middle of January. I think it takes over for Legends, and then Legends will come back at the
Okay.
end.
So
But it's an older actor. He's a father and all that, and he retires as Black Lightning, and then he gets back when I think I think he might be an uncle is what it is, not a father. So his niece gets in trouble or something like that.
Yeah, I remember we discussed this probably about a year ago on.
I like the idea. I like Black
I
Lightning.
just didn't know that something actually came of it.
Yep.
So,
It's on CW, so I'm excited for it. Wrap us up here.
from Professor Number One at Doctor Number One, what are your thoughts on the tax bill?
That just passed.
Nope. Not going there. That's down the hall.
That's the political podcast. Stumpy, or what's it called?
Stumpy?
Is that what the podcast? What's our political podcast?
Okay.
Not Stumpy. It's
Oh God! Now you made me.
Soapbox.
Yeah.
Soapbox. It's on Canadian Podcast Network. The tax bill is oh, we're out of town. Sorry.
We're out of time.
Yep. Sorry. Andrew, you want to talk about the tax bill? About government?
No, not really.
We're the geeky podcast.
That's right. We're the geeky podcast.
All right. Face off.
This is the part you take your face off. To court Nicolas Cage. We
Give us a fight scenario, and we'll tell you who wins.
This is from Dev, the Psy guy.
He wants Episode 2, Anakin Skywalker,
Okay. Are you an angel?
versus Episode 5, Luke Skywalker.
This is episode 2, Anakin Skywalker. The I hate sand. I hate
Yeah.
everything to do with sand. It gets everywhere in your crevices. I hate sand. Okay.
Versus Episode 5, Luke Skywalker,
Empire Strikes Back. Are they both similar? I guess they're go.
In a fight, I think I'm going Episode 2, Anakin Skywalker, because Luke has barely learned the Force in that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to hold his own against a dying Darth Vader.
Was he dying in episode 5? More like episode 6. I feel like he aged really bad.
Really bad.
He aged really bad from
The
episode 5.
creation of the second Death Star really took its toll on
The
Darth
stress
Vader.
on him. He was taking blood pressure medicine. It was a bad day for Darth.
No, Anakin Skywalker episode 2 had the advantages of like a full immersed training.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where
Years
Luke
of it.
Skywalker basically
he
got
might-
the cliff notes.
Yeah. I can just see Cliff Note Jedi training. All right, the big test tomorrow, and I haven't read up on this
Yeah,
yet.
I was with Yoda for what, a week?
Oh, not to go to the dark side. I always forget that. Oh, poor.
Man, I love Luke so much better, but
Yeah, but I think he would
same
lose
time
that
age,
fight.
if they were both 18, I think Anakin would whoop his butt.
Yeah, his.
Anakin had a lot of anger in him. He took out sand people without any issue.
I think
He took out
Anakin.
youngins.
I think Anakin in Episode 2 would beat Darth Vader in Episode 5,
I give you that.
and Darth Vader in Episode 5 beat Luke Skywalker in Episode.
That's
5.
true. That is true. Look at you with that logic.
Whoa, logic.
Look at that. I'm
Not
impressed.
just a hat rack.
Nope.
D60
Yeah, it
hats.
is. Okay, well, there's your face off for the week.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
All right, so when 4, 5, and 6 came out, Star Wars, okay, the lightsaber style was from Bob Anderson. You know, it's very dramatic lightsaber, you know,
What episode was this? I'm sorry.
episodes 4, 5, and 6.
The original trilogy.
The original trilogy lightsaber battles were all choreographed by Bob Anderson, okay? Then the original 1, 2, and 3, I don't think Bob did it. Yeah, it's a totally different lightsaber battling. What do you think Luke will have, assuming he does pick up a lightsaber and fight in Episode 8? Is he going to change, or is he going to go back to old style of Luke Skywalker fighting, lightsaber fighting? See what I'm saying? Are they going to update his fight style, or is he going to still be the same fight style?
I think they'll update the fight style because that's what, movies. They're not. I don't think they're going to go backwards because they think they'll do cool things with lightsabers, so they're not going to show the same thing you've already seen. That's my thought.
But let's go into this for one more second, the style of lightsabers and fighting. Have you noticed, did you see the side-by-side comparison of how Obi-Wan fights and Rey fights?
No, I have not seen that.
They're very similar to each other. The same look on it. I can't do it right, but
I was about to say, it looks like you're doing Kung Fu Panda.
I might do Kung Fu Panda there. But there is, they did a side-by-side comparison, and she does have the same fighting stance. And you're like, so what? It's a fighting stance. Star Wars and Disney, whoever's in charge of Star Wars, has it down to a science, everything. Obi-Wan Kenobi has the same fighting stance in Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars the original trilogy, the Phantom, the new trilogy, or I'm sorry, the prequels, and in the Clone Wars. Even the cartoon is down to the same fighting stance.
Well, then maybe they will keep what Luke has done
So it could be the same, but I'm just saying there is that rumor that Rey is Obi-Wan's granddaughter. And it would make sense with the fighting stance.
I don't think that's inherited. Fighting style, I don't think you get through your genes.
I'll be honest, I really hope that she's not related to anybody in that trilogy.
She's related to somebody.
I don't want her to be. Well, yes, somebody. She does have parents somewhere. It's not the midichlorians or whatever.
Yeah, the midichlorians just created her out of nothing.
So you think that she's related to Obi-Wan Kenobi, or it is Obi-Wan Kenobi reincarnated?
Oh, God, I hope not reincarnated.
Oh, that would be terrible.
That's the rumor.
Yeah,
those are the rumors.
We screamed about that 2 years ago.
Yeah, that she's Anakin reincarnated because the Jedi have one, the chosen one inherited a body every time. God, I hope not. I hope not. Please don't. And again, it's kind of like Finn. He does not need to be Lando's son, okay? There's more than one African-American in this universe. We don't need them all related, okay? You don't need him to be Lando's son.
I don't think they're really African-American.
Well,
I mean, they're not from America. America doesn't really exist at this
I get that. Shut up, Jeff. Shut up. You're going to be surprised when this all takes place.
Besides, the actor playing Finn isn't American
British
at all. Yeah, so.
But you know what I mean, though. Shut up. I feel like we're going down a very gray area. I'm just
Go down the hall.
Just shut up.
So do you think Luke will have the same fighting style technique, or is he going to show us some new stuff?
Well, now that he mentioned that they're making a big deal of keeping other fighting styles the same.
I mean, even the cartoon said this. I could see him having the same fighting stance. Do you think he dies in this one?
Man, I don't think you can have him die now.
Well, especially with Leia. Do you think she dies in this one?
Even if
I heard they didn't change.
They say they didn't change, but I'm telling you what, if he was supposed to die, I think Disney would change the movie to make sure Luke somehow lives.
Yeah, I think you have to.
But I certainly don't think that from what I heard, they weren't going to kill off Leia or address her death at all in this movie.
How do you get rid of her, though?
Well, apparently they're going it off screen, but, you come back. We learned how to do it. Kevin James showed us how to do it, and Kevin can wait.
Oh, yeah, you just don't talk about it.
You just say, oh, it's a shame she died 6 months ago, and then move on.
Oh, jeez. Kevin can wait. Oh, my God. Don't get me started on that shit. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, I think you have to kill Leia, though, somehow. I think you have to. Especially in this one. Personally, I don't think you have Kylo Ren turn good. Please don't make him be good.
No.
Make him the most evil person ever. Make him take out his mom, Leia. Make him do it.
No,
you want to have the fans hate him?
I don't think he will ever be good, but I think he turned evil for a good reason.
Okay.
That's where I'm going with.
I'm kind of worried that Snooky, or whatever his name is, looks like Hugh Hefner. He has a bathrobe.
I always thought the same thing. I'm glad somebody else thought.
He is the Hugh Hefner of Jedi.
For some reason, I see the picture of him with that gold robe on.
Yes.
I keep picturing Hugh Hefner.
I have not seen this picture.
It's everywhere.
Well, I know. I'm purposely trying to avoid everything before the movie.
I saw 2 trailers.
I saw none.
The international one and the other one I did.
Or I saw whatever the first teaser that was like 30 seconds. I saw that one.
And then the reason why I saw Snooky, he is in the one background making Ray bend over, like when he's doing the force on.
You're giving me too much information here.
Anyways, and then when my son was looking at the Toys R Us catalog, the big Bad Guy base for $180.
You getting it?
God, no. Which is, you know what? Finally, they have some bases on these toys. The Star Wars, the Force Awakens, no bases on their Star Wars
They
figures.
didn't have Star Killer base?
No, they had nothing.
They don't know how to make toys anymore.
No. So they finally built this Bad Guy base, and you get Snooky with it. And Snooky. And he has a gold bathrobe, and I'm like, that's Hugh Hefner. This is creepy. I do not want to see this at all. Ugh. He looks like Thanos in the new Thanos in Infinity War in a gold robe. That's what he looks like.
So you're saying that they're putting it out with the Playboy Mansion play set.
David Spade, you get a copy of him in there too. And Rob Schneider. I got invited. And Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider standing outside the gate saying, "Please let me in."
And Matt Lauer.
Oh, God.
Kevin Spacey's not in it though.
All right, we're moving on.
He's in the dungeon. I'm in the dungeon.
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
Who is quite luscious. See, we're very equal opportunity on this show. We talk Remy LaCroix, we talk Dwayne Johnson, Chris Pratt, John Noble.
But Dwayne Johnson and Chris Pratt made my list.
Yes, top 5.
Yes.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is doing rounds this holiday season as we prepare for the release of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Which looks 1,000,000 times better than the original Jumanji.
I can't wait.
I like the original Jumanji.
I don't know how.
This movie looks so much fun.
It does.
Yeah, but Jack Black's in it. That's
I
the
don't
issue.
care.
Yeah,
I
but
like Jack
Black's in
Black.
it talking about how he looks like a troll.
Yes, that's true. My wife is a huge original Jumanji fan.
I don't know.
It's one of the few movies that we agree on. And besides 13 going on 30.
You agree on that one?
Yeah, I think it's trash. She likes it. Anyway.
I thought that's not an agreement.
No. Anyways, so she actually, my oldest son likes Jumanji, and he's excited to see it, and I think she's going to take him to see it. I kind of want to see it too, don't get me wrong, but with 3 kids where it's like, you go take him, it's fine. But yeah, because I'm taking him to Star Wars next week. Opening night, baby. Welcome to the Jungle. Shortly after the film's debut on December 20th, Johnson will once again return to the wilderness in Disney's upcoming Jungle Cruise movie. We talked about this about 6 years ago. Based on the Disney theme park ride.
Yeah.
We needed Doug here for this.
We did.
As for
Tell us why this won't suck.
Not much is known about the Jungle Cruise movie, but speaking to Entertainment Weekly, they said, we give it a B-. Johnson revealed that he will star as captain of a boat, and the boat is on the Amazon River.
I'm on a boat.
So you just need a giant snake as Anaconda all over again.
There you go.
And John Voight winking.
And Ice Cube.
Was it Ice Cube?
Was it Ice Cube?
I don't know.
I think it was Ice Cube.
Jennifer Lopez?
I think she was in that one too.
Jennifer Lopez. He then made a comparison.
Now I don't know if Ice Cube was in it. I'm going to have to look that up.
They're going to get really big on this movie, I bet, Jungle Cruise. I mean, this is a theme park attraction ride.
Is it? I know it's still out there because number one fan Doug went on his 20th trip to Disney last year, took pictures and showed us.
It's one of my favorite rides at Disney.
It?
Yeah, and it's not even a thrill ride. You sit it and they tell like corny jokes throughout the cruise
you have like
ride.
a hippo spit water in that.
Yeah, and it's just it's a classic, and you take your kids on it, and you ride every time you go there. It's like one of those rides you just ride every time.
Johnson said it's full-on adventure. Think Indiana Jones. Hold on here. Those kinds of adventures. I'm very, very excited about it. Let's
If
see.
this is even lukewarm of a response, I bet you Disney cranks sequels out on this.
But is it going to be good, or is it going to be Journey to the Center of the Earth bad?
Is it going to be
It's
Haunted
Disney.
Mansion bad?
Oh, Haunted Mansion. You know what? I
Don't tell
will.
me you liked Haunted Mansion.
That I give about a 6 or a 5. Probably
Out
a
of
5.
40?
5.
Out of 40.
Probably about a 5. I've only seen it twice.
Well, that's too many times, but one more than. Oh God, that was painful.
Now I'm looking forward to both these movies.
Jumanji, it looks. I was a little disappointed because they go into a video game, and then the more I see the trailer, I'm like, yeah, kind of enjoying it. I think it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, it's a totally different take. It's like a take on the original, but different.
Is it going to be better than what is that space one? Zack?
Zathura?
Yeah, that. Who did that? John Favreau.
If you say so.
He did.
Oh yeah, Ice Cube was in
Was he?
Anaconda. So was Eric Stoltz.
Oh,
Eric Wilson.
Eric Stoltz had the best job. He was in a coma for all of it.
Danny Trejo. Carly Werner.
Danny Trejo was in it.
He played,
Everybody knows he
played Poacher.
he was nothing can top Danny Trejo in Con Air. Anyways, moving on.
Nothing can.
Stop it. Nothing can top Con Air. Thank you. This is where I really started to understand the power of Disney, he said. Johnson, not Trejo. Just in terms of the deep dives that they do with their projects, with all of their projects. Because obviously they're a studio and publicly traded, but specifically with projects like this, where it's based off of a ride and based off of a beloved attraction, like Pirates of the Caribbean. So much goes into the work, and it's exciting.
Yeah. You know what movie I liked him when he did the Disney movie was Escape the Witch Mountain.
I never saw that one.
I have if you want to borrow it. I love it.
I have not seen it because I remember watching the originals as a child, and I didn't think I wanted to watch the remake.
There was 2 of them in there.
It's like
Right, there was a
it's a
Return to
Disney
Witch
movie. It just feels good watching it.
Was it better than Herbie the Love Bug?
Which one?
That's
Very first one?
Okay.
Or the Lindsay Lohan one?
Wow, Lindsay. Let's see here. Disney, speaking of Disney, has decided this is very, you know what, this is the power of Hobie. Last week we talked that there was a 22 minutes short film of Olaf before Coco, and we said, hey, get that out of there. This week, Disney said, Hobie, you're right. They removed their extended Frozen short film from screenings of Coco. EW says B- reports that the studio will remove the 22-minute short due to complaints of having to sit through 40 to 45 minutes of material, including trailers and ads, and the short before the main film started. It's a whole lot of movie trailer.
Well, if they do it right, you don't show the ads during the actual run time. The ad should be done by the end of the posted time of movie start.
This is coming from a former theater major.
The trailers on the
Manager,
other hand,
not major.
Yeah, major. I was a
Yeah,
theater
but-
major. Yeah, no.
I kind of like knowing that the movie starts at a certain time. Now I'm built into those 15, 20 minutes. So I got time to get the kids to the restroom.
Well, yeah, but you
get the drinks filled.
Those are trailers are going to be there.
You're going to
The
miss
trailers are fine, but like the ads about come
The
eat
Pepsi?
M&Ms, drink Pepsi, that stuff should be put on before.
Oh, okay. You mean those ads?
Those ads.
Oh, okay.
Trailers
Like
about
when they're
let's see our new movie. Yeah, those are. Yeah.
Well, if they ever decide to change the format, they got to tell me.
Yeah.
Just don't do it all of a sudden, because right now I'm budgeting like 10 minutes or so before I
You're
even
going to
get.
miss the great Pepsi commercial of passing the popcorn and singing and dancing.
Nah, I don't need that.
That's what when I
Right now, for all the assigned seating that we go to theaters,
is it nice?
I don't have to worry
great.
about it. I know I got my seats, so I can
Yeah.
show up there when I want to.
I agree.
I remember the first show I went to after getting one of those. We bought the ticket early, bought the ticket square in the middle of the theater, best seats in the house. Showed up after the lights went down and as the previews were ending, and sat in the best seats in the house. That was nice.
Are you going opening night to Star Wars?
I got a friend going to try and arrange a private screening,
That's even better.
but it won't be probably opening weekend. So now I'm conflicted because it's getting closer and closer. Now I'm like, oh, do I really want to wait after the weekend?
Did he tell you it was actually The Last Jedi private screening? It could be the first one, the prequel. I'm just saying, it could be a nasty joke.
You show up and you have a private screening of Phantom Menace.
an angel?
No, he runs the theater. He wouldn't do that to me. He knows better.
And he probably won't have a copy of.
Nobody should have a copy of
No,
that.
the thing is, if I want to see it, I want to see it in the Dolby Digital
Yeah.
screen. So I kind of have to wait to where he said they can allocate the room, so to speak.
Do they not have Dolby Digital on all their screens?
No, it's what is it? There's only like one Dolby's theater in Cincinnati.
Oh, well, they got a different thing. Okay. I'm about to say, all the ones we had Dolby Digital. I mean, that's...
I forgot what they call it. It's like there's only two one or two.
Dynamic Digital or something?
I forgot what it is. There's only two. He says it's better than IMAX.
Is that the SDSS sound?
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
I don't know. I just know the last time. Well, the seats got butt kickers in them and that. So when you're sitting in the seats shake and everything else. It's pretty amazing.
I did not know that.
No, they just got it literally a month ago.
No,
we saw Thor in it, and it was amazing.
Oh, I love it. No, I'm going on a tangent here, but
We're on Tangent Mound Network.
when I was working at the theater, and I was not there at the time. I was away at class for learning how to run the projection booth and stuff. But when I was there, they had a special showing of which Spider-Man movie was it? I think it might have been the first Spider-Man
With Toby?
with Toby. Yeah,
Okay.
that's when I was working there. It was I think it was the first first one with Tobey Maguire. Our theater was hosting a special showing for a bunch of bigwigs. I don't know why they were in Cincinnati necessarily, but they were coming here and they picked our theater they didn't tell us why they picked our theater. But apparently we were only one of two theaters that had the Sony Dynamics surround sound. So they said, oh, we'll go to that location and watch it. They didn't let the projectionist know that that's why they were there, so he didn't actually even run it in the SDSS sound.
Oh, really?
Because it wasn't that good of we always had problems with it, and we had like 3 different types of sound set up to that theater. And so they started showing it, and then like afterwards they found out why they were there and specifically asked for like Theater 14. Show it in Theater 14 for these people, and it's like, we were supposed to be showing that in, SDSS, but they didn't tell us that, so we just showed it in regular Dolby Digital.
They get mad or anything? Or
They didn't know.
Well, until now.
Well, then if they're listening,
Now they
You don't work there anyways.
Yeah, I know. Because one of the other guys working there overheard him talking about and apparently they didn't know what they were even listening for, because they were like, that was very impressive, the sound was so great, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, unless you're like really know what to listen for, people aren't even going to notice it anyway. But
Moving on. Sorry, back to Frozen. Thanks, Jeff.
okay.
Disney always said, oh no, this was always promoted as a limited run, so it's not really a story here, nothing to see here. The end of the Olaf theatrical play is coming next week. Okay, I love Disney, but fuck you. Come on, really? A theatrical play? Come on. Doug broke the news last week. It was supposed to be a Christmas episode.
Made for TV
Made for TV show.
Yeah. So it's a 22-minute long
And
TV
they were worried
show.
Coco wasn't going to be a big hit, so they threw it on to it.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
I thought they were embarrassed by it, so instead of broadcasting it, they just tacked it onto a movie.
So they
actually thought this was going to bring people in.
So there was no Coco, which now I do want to see.
My wife loved it.
But there was like nothing, like I never really saw any much marketing around it, commercials or anything.
doing well.
I've seen a lot of commercials the last month. I have.
Recently, I've seen, but
Recently, but I didn't almost until like the week of the release.
Wow.
it looked better than Good Dinosaur. So that
You're right. I don't remember seeing a trailer for it before another movie.
they kept it very quiet on the trailers, because I'm pretty much up on the movies I'm not going to see opening week. I do watch the trailers.
Yeah.
I didn't see much on this. There was one small one. But you know what? It's the same thing with Moana. They're going into the cultural stories, and it's awesome. To see that. Moana is still my favorite Disney movie because it's so different. And my wife said Coco was it goes into the Spanish heritage and that you never see on screen. And she said it was great, and my son loved it too.
Spanish or Mexican?
Well,
Hispanic,
sorry.
Okay.
That was my bad. Not Spanish. Hispanic. Yeah. My bad. So she said it was neat to see that. And it's good. They finally are tapping into that. I still love Moana. Let's see here.
Yeah, you like it, I think, a little more than it I mean, it was a good movie, but it wasn't a, oh my God, it's the best one ever movie.
I do love it. Disney is reportedly asking theaters to use the additional 20 minutes to budget more Coco screenings.
Yeah.
We'll take it off, but put some more screenings.
Well, if you have 5 screenings going on now.
Well, you'll see on Box Office News why they should do it. Finally, this is the good one here. This was per Doug Apans. He sent this over to me. Per the Star Tribune, a man dressed in medieval garb delivered an unusual cease and desist letter to a Minneapolis brewery this past Friday. Modest Brewery unleashed its new beer called Dilly Dilly, Mosaic Double IPA, named after the popular Bud Light commercials. I don't remember that, Dilly Dilly.
I have no clue what Dilly Dilly is.
It was immediately scolded in medieval language by a message from the king of Anheuser-Busch. A guy came dressed as a king, and he read from this tablet, this parchment, and he said a video on the brewery's Facebook page showed an unidentified man reading from a parchment paper scroll. The brewery has since sold out of its 200 growlers of the new beer. Hear ye, he began. Dear friend of the crown, Modest Brewery Company, congratulations on the new brew, Dilly Dilly Mosaic Double IPA. We are duly flattered by your royal tribute. However, Dilly Dilly is the motto of our realm, so we humbly ask that you keep this to a limited edition of one time only. This is by the order of the king. Disobedience shall be met with additional scrolls, then a formal warning, and finally a private tour of the pit of misery.
I'll give Budweiser credit. If you are sending a cease and desist, that's the way to do it.
Well, here's the reason. According to the Growler magazine, which is, I never even knew there was a Growler magazine.
Now we have to subscribe.
Yes. The owners of the brewery had an idea they would be getting a message from Bud Light after they found out Dilly Dilly had been trademarked. But then they said, screw it, let's see what happens. And that's what happens. Kayla Anderson told the magazine. The brewer's lawyer, Jeff O'Brien, told the Star Tribune that he has seen plenty of cease and desist letters, but nothing like this. There's so many brewery names and beer names out there, we try to resolve it short of suing each other. Which is kind of cool that, they all work.
This is at least the second time I heard of, a brewery that had a name that somebody else
had.
And they pretty much had the limited run, go ahead, just don't do it again type
Which is
thing.
Nice. O'Brien said they did it in a funny way and protected their mark. I thought it was a really cool way of handling it. Let's see here. They said they can sell the rest of the Dilly Dilly at the tap room, but won't be able to brew it again under that name. The scroll for the cease and desist is now hanging under the Dilly Dilly sign at the brewery and may be framed. To add to the good nature request, Bud Light offered the brewery 2 thrones at the Super Bowl instead of the Pit of Misery. So they gave them 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Good for them.
Said, okay, we won't do it.
I hate Bud Light. I feel like it tastes like water, but good for them.
I don't know what Dilly Dilly is.
No.
Like flooring me that there's an argument over something I don't know. Andrew, Dilly Dilly?
Never heard of it.
This
But
episode's-
apparently, I guess Budweiser owns the trademark to it.
Dilly Dilly.
This episode brought to you by the Modest Brewing Company.
Yes. And finally, this just went to air, or this went right before air. Wolverine, The Long Night, is now becoming a podcast in 2018. Marvel is trying to make it the new serial of podcast. They're going to do a story each week, a 10-episode serialized story that will exclusively premiere on Podcast Network Stitcher Premiere. So there you go.
So what do you mean they're going to read the stories?
They're making their own story of this.
Is it like a radio drama?
It's a radio drama that they're going to put on about Wolverine. Good for them. That's different.
Oh, yeah.
The Hobbit and Hannibal star Richard Armitage
Oh, I like
will
it.
lend his voice to Logan for the podcast.
I didn't know he was in Hannibal. Maybe I'll go back
Writer
and watch
Ben
Hannibal.
Percy says this will blend the mystery aspects of true crime podcasts like Serial with the narrative tricks of True Detective, plus a dash of Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. I have no idea what this is going to be, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I like Richard Armitage, and he does have a nice, good, distinct voice.
Yeah.
Is there any serialized radio dramas anymore?
There are a few out there on podcasts.
Yeah, there's a lot of independent, or maybe not a lot, but there are some independent podcasts
Yeah.
that do stuff like that. But
It's rare to find them because I don't know if there's really that big of a market anymore.
yeah, I mean,
But the people that
it's
do
not easy to find them. Yeah,
But the ones that do it are hits with the theater community and the people looking for
All
it.
it takes is something like this one time.
and then boom, it'll be
Everybody's doing it.
yeah.
It's kind of like, Frozen. They had to cut the short because Hobie was talking about it and it just spread like wildfire.
Now we're talking about it, boom.
Yeah.
We're going to take credit for everything. Hobie bump.
Yep. And that's your News of the Geek.
You ever wonder when Spider-Man goes to the bathroom if the toilet paper sticks to his fingers?
Do you ever wonder why Superman wears his underwear outside of his pants?
My name is Imran.
My name is Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And we're your hosts for the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we sometimes try to attempt to answer these questions.
This is a full spoiler podcast, and we swear a lot.
Check it out for awesome geek news, interviews, and comic book reviews. Visit jockandnerd.com. We are your superhero TV, movies, and comic book culture curators.
Boom.
jockandnerd.com. Jock and Nerd.
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
All right, box office bombs this week. We really don't have any bombs necessarily to speak of since nothing opened this week.
Yeah, nothing opened.
Or at least wide, anyway.
No.
But we'll go down to our list here. Number 1 of the week, Coco made another $26 million. Total of $109 on a $175 million budget. Number 2, Justice League made another $17 million, a total of $197.5 on a $300+ million budget.
Justice League. Doug is one of 7 people that still plays the Hollywood Stock Exchange online.
Oh, he still plays it?
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, at one point this year, Justice League 2, the sequel, was selling for $271.
Yes.
It's now at $52. Justice League 2 is falling on the Hollywood Stock Exchange, which, as old as that game is, it's pretty accurate. So, $52 if you want to get in Justice League 2. They're not making that, are they?
They'll make it. What it'll be, I don't know.
Did you see Justice League, Andrew?
Nope.
Did you want to?
Nope.
Do you want to go see it one night?
I'm not going to pay to see it. I'll call my buddy if you want to go.
I don't know. I really don't want to go, but I got to see it.
I'm not saying
if you want to go, and I'll make a call.
You know what? That seems like I'll do it. I'll go with you. You know what? That seems like the most excited review for a movie. I guess I'll go.
I just saw Thor, and I was so good I saw it again.
I like
and
Thor.
Very rarely do I do that. But
Thor was a little overhyped of how good it was, but it was very well done. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
It was the best Thor of all of them.
I still have yet to see Thor.
You haven't seen the new one?
I haven't been to the theater probably over a month. What's the last thing I saw in the theater? I just haven't made it to Thor yet.
Boo 2.
No, I didn't see Boo 2.
Halloween.
I completely ignored that one.
Boo 2.
Going on, number 3, Jason's favorite movie, Wonder, made another $12.5 million, a total of $88 on a $20 million budget.
Let me explain this to you. If I have one more person tell me or my wife that we need to go see Wonder, I am going to smack somebody. Dear God in heaven, I've had more people say, you have to go see it, you would really like it. Why are you telling me? No, I wouldn't. No, I would not see that.
That's what you just look at and say.
When we saw Thor, my wife, my sister-in-law, and my daughter saw Wonder.
Did they like it? Did they cry all the way through?
They said it was amazing.
5 different people have told me that they've cried all the way through this movie.
I think they said,
why do I want to see this?
Yeah, if it's going to make me cry, I don't want to see it.
So they liked it?
Oh, yeah. They said everybody should see this movie.
See? I told you! Anybody that's...
Do they know the black hearts that we have?
I have no soul.
Oh, she was going to make us all go, and the kids all begged. We want to see Thor or we want to see Wonder? Thor or Wonder and the teenagers? I'm sorry.
But he has an
The kids probably never saw a trailer for Wonder and they're immediately saying, no, we don't care. We want to see Thor.
I just picture teenage kids going, oh yeah, I really want to see Wonder over Thor. Let's go.
So, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Julia Roberts, she really gets that preteens in there.
My wife's trying to sell me on Owen because I love Owen. I'll see him in anything. And she was like, it's got Owen. You know you love Owen. He's in the movie. And she keeps talking about Owen. It's like, you can keep saying his name. It's not going to make anything.
He's not like Candyman. He doesn't appear.
Okay? I know this is not a typical Owen movie, all right? It's not Wedding Crashers. It's not Drill Bit Taylor.
Oh,
Okay, it's got to be better than Drill Bit
we
Taylor.
talked about that last week.
Yeah, we were ripping Drill Bit Taylor a new one last week.
This week we did Robert Zemeckis films. Last week we did Owen Wilson films.
Yeah, so
That should be a new segment.
What's that?
Just pick somebody in Hollywood and discuss their career.
There you go. Somebody, listeners, give us a Hollywood person, director, writer,
Anybody.
star, anybody, actress, actor, and we'll go through their film review.
It can't be a worse segment than the boardroom was.
Let's not talk about the boardroom. That was a bad segment.
I always hope they do a Wedding Crashers too, and like get rid of the girls. And
That was the only good part of Wedding Crashers was Isla Fisher.
I love Fisher.
I know, but I think
Only.
No.
But I have a belief that when movies continue,
painting.
they feel like they have to. Well, they have to get married, and the next one would be, well, now they got to have a kid because that's the next step in the process. They have to have a kid, so now you got to introduce a kid into it.
American Pie.
American Pie. Any other movie that would they have
Meet
to
the
keep
Parents.
Meet the Parents. What's the TV series that they did it in? Marriage of Children.
Oh, 7.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
3 episodes and they
Friends.
Friends. It's like that ruins it. So I just think they should just keep to the basics, get rid of the girls somehow, and then just let them do it.
I feel like Wonder would be better if Owen Wilson, Julia Roberts, and the kid weren't in it. I feel like that would make it a better film.
It probably would have been better. You're right.
Yeah. I don't know what it would be about, but I'm going with it.
It's about everyday school where
Everybody deserves a standing ovation. No, that means not nobody's special. It's exactly like Dash says. If everybody's special, it means nobody's special, Mom.
No, Ice Age. That's another one.
Oh, God.
Ice Age didn't need to make sequels. That was fine. The first movie was pretty good.
That's it. You're on the herd. That was the best line.
That was the best line.
That's it.
I like the first one.
I forgot we used that line
Yes.
a lot. Whenever somebody said something that annoyed us. That's it. You're out of the herd.
Real quick here, we were talking about the Jungle Cruise. Number 1 fan Doug chimed in on Twitter live.
Is he like listening to us?
No, I put it on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
People like that when we talk.
When you tweet while we...
Yeah, what are we talking about? The Christmas overlay is fantastic on the Jungle Cruise. And your skipper can make or break the quality of the show.
That's true.
I believe that.
There you go. Kind of like our show. We can make or break depending on the person.
Some are better
If you're
than
not here to
others.
skip us, Jay, and it's just me and Blake, we end up talking about Game of Thrones for 3 hours.
Who's Blake?
I totally agree. The skipper will make or break the ride.
He wants to know why. Doug also wants to know why we're talking Disney without him.
Because he didn't come on.
He didn't, yeah.
I guess
I figured he'd stumble in here every week he wanted to.
So what else we got on box office news? Oh, thanks. Thank God Wonder made money this week.
Oh yeah, okay. 4, Thor Ragnarok, another $10 million on 291.5 domestic budget, or on 180 million. I'm just mumbling.
Let's look at this. Thor budget 180.
Yes.
All right.
291.
Justice League budget 300 million.
And
Made
that's
197.
not even probably accurate. It's probably north of 300 million.
So why is it costing Justice League? I don't understand it. $120 million more to make that movie.
Because they had to keep reshooting.
They reshoots were probably $60 million.
I think they did say it was. I think we did a news story. $60 million in reshoots.
Oh boy.
That's one of the
They still had crappy costumes.
That did include
cosplay.
CGI out the mustache.
Oh, they did have to CGI out Superman Brandon Routh's mustache.
No, not Brandon Routh, the wrong Superman. Henry
Christopher
Cavill.
Reeves.
Yeah.
They had to make him walk again too.
And they had to bring him back to life.
That's true.
It's more than just make them walk, man.
We can make him walk. He's still dead.
Weekend at Reeves.
Still would be better than Justice League. Everybody has said Steppenwolf in it is horrible. They said the bad guy is just, dear God.
Well, they really only have 2 songs worth mentioning anyway.
That's true. I'd rather see the band as the bad guy. I really don't get why they made Steppenwolf the bad guy.
Because DC doesn't have great...
Darkseid.
Darkseid's a terrible villain in my... I hate anything they had to do with Darkseid. They don't have a great villain for the overall universe.
Lex Luthor.
And then he's been...
Brainiac.
Yeah. What do we do with him in Superman movies?
Oh, great.
Now, I don't understand why there's some characters they just never touch the DC universe. It's always the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Wonder Woman, they're putting in everything because that's the only thing they've done right.
Oh, that was amazing.
Wonder Woman was good.
They got lucky on that.
They did get lucky. Patty Jenkins, just make the whole DC universe.
Yeah, just let her go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. You were just talking about why they always just use the same things. It reminded me of Kevin Smith's story about when he was hired to write a Superman movie.
Superman, yeah.
And he was having Brainiac as the villain. And the crazy-ass producer who was in charge...
I forget what his name was. He did Wild Wild West.
Yeah. But he was like, can we make him gay?
The robot gay.
And he's like, okay, he's a robot.
Why is he
gay? I don't know if robots really have sexual feelings.
And this is one of the producers. And he said yes. And he's like, I was never going to make him gay.
And then he's like, we need to have a giant spider in there. He's like, okay, why? He's like, it'll just look great, attacking a giant spider. I'm like, okay, he's a Thingarian web beast.
Sure. World. Yeah. And they said that never got to script,
and then I never got past the script phase.
But the same producer was obsessed with giant mechanical robots. That's why it was in Wild Wild West with Will Smith and Kevin Kline.
Giant mechanical spider at the end of Wild Wild West.
The same producer said, put it in that then. I'm like,
what's wrong with people?
A lot.
Harvey Weinstein, for example.
Oh, Jesus, fuck him. Kevin Spacey. Anyways, moving on.
This Kevin Spacey impersonation.
I'm Kevin Spacey. How you doing? I need K-Pax. What's up with K-Pax? 8 bananas. Wait, that now sounds wrong. Never mind. I got like 87 kids in the basement.
We know, Kevin. Get out. Let them out.
Isn't that a great Kevin Spacey impersonation?
It is. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm huge in England. I was running a Playhouse.
I didn't try that Playhouse joke. I actually meant a theater Playhouse. Never mind.
Oh, boy.
Okay. How's that check coming over there? I think Andrew's leaving. Here you go.
Okay, and Daddy's Home 2 made another $7.5 million, a total of $83 million on a $69 million budget.
Profitable.
They said
so they're going to make a Daddy's Home 3.
Sure. All 5 of these movies stayed in the same spot as last week because nothing came out.
Nothing new came out.
Yeah.
They're all just one.
I do want to see Daddy's Home too.
I enjoyed the first one. I actually did too. I was pleasantly surprised.
I didn't see it. The ads made me never want to see it.
The Daddy's Home 2 trailer is not very good.
Will Ferrell's in it, so it can't be good.
He was an elf.
I know. Thank you.
I saw something about Elf recently that they had originally offered Will Ferrell. I forgot what the sum of money. I think it was like $30 million.
Yeah, to do Elf.
To do Elf 2, and he turned it down.
Wow.
It was a ridiculous amount. I think that's what it was. It was a ridiculously high amount.
Did they have a good script for it? Well,
I don't think they even got that far.
Hey, I'm James Caan. I'll sing a stupid song at the end of the movie.
That's the only bad part.
That's not the only bad part.
Stop it.
There weren't a whole lot of good parts.
No. Elf 2 is Elf is classic.
Elf is there. It's high on his list of movies, but that still doesn't reach the top of the
But yet he still wants to Night at the Roxbury.
I find that I go through holiday films. Like, I'll go through a season, like, that's the movie I'm going to watch this season. And, like, 3 seasons ago, it was my wife's. She picked Elf, and we watched it probably, like, 30 times.
Oh, Lord.
So
that's going to be with any movie.
My kids watch it a lot.
Yeah, so I can't watch it much anymore, but I still love the movie. But I have to, like, okay, I'm putting this on the blacklist for, like, the next 2-3 years so I can enjoy it again. But National Lampoons, I watch it on average probably about twice a season. And that's a movie I still enjoy a lot.
IGN.com has an interview with Will Ferrell from late last year.
Yeah.
Are there any of your older movies that you think you should have a sequel, like A Night at the Roxbury? His response, no. Have you been asked to do Elf a lot, haven't you? Yes. And they're like, please don't do that. And he goes, that's the thing. I don't think either of us are ever on that side of ever wanting to rush into a sequel of things that we really care about. If you can figure that out and come up with a story that justifies it, that's great. I've been asked and begged and prodded to do a sequel to that movie, and I'm with you. They're like, could you ever be an idea for it? I think it's hard. It's a classic fish out of water story and its own thing. I agree. That movie should not have been successful. It should not have worked, and they made it work.
I'll give him credit for that. I mean, it's like I did like Anchorman, and they made a sequel to that, and that was god awful.
He said,
"You grabbed me to the premiere of that one."
What?
Anchorman 2.
Yeah, Anchorman 2 is not good. He said, I'm actually making a sequel called Elves. It's about
Aliens.
No, it's about Buddy, nearly close to 50, running around with a Japanese family. He said that's my idea. They didn't go for it.
Yeah, now you can't do it because he's nowhere near the same age as before, I think. I think he has to be a younger age in order to make that movie.
Bob's Newhart's the same age.
I mean, he's human. He ages as humans would. So what's Buddy up to 20 years later?
He said in 2013, I just think it would look slightly pathetic if I tried to squeeze back into the elf tights.
I could see him doing Elf down the road as Buddy losing the Christmas spirit or something.
Ooh. Buddy has an existential crisis.
Yes, and has to get back to the North
He reads
Pole.
a lot of Sartre.
Yeah.
He said he was offered $29 million.
That's what it was, $29 million.
To do Elf 2, and he turned it down. He said it wasn't tough to turn it down.
It makes enough money.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, that's your box office.
Upcoming, just getting started.
Oh, upcoming.
With Morgan Freeman, they're battling with Tommy Lee Jones on the old people retirement home.
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones and Morgan Freeman, I like them.
Grumpy old men.
They're good enough that they don't have to do we're old people doing old people roles. You can do real people doing other thing roles.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, can we do top 5 and get this done?
All right, let's do top 5. Top 5 music means top 5 lists. What are we doing, Jason?
Top 5 favorite scenes from the Star Wars franchise. Any 5.
Franchise. Now that includes.
I messed up already.
Cartoons.
I did original trilogy. I guess
You can change it.
Change it.
I can't think of it now.
You just hope
You
it.
can do original. The 5 best might be from the original.
I'll be honest, we're pretty loosey-goosey with the top 5 rules, so...
You can give us 12. We won't care.
Yeah.
But,
one of our guests a couple weeks ago did a whole different top 5. She didn't like our top 5, so she did a whole different one. We didn't care. We're good.
So I am good at putting the Star Wars Christmas special at my number
That is
1.
a franchise.
Okay.
I don't know if it's canon, but we're going to say it is. Andrew, you're a guest this week. What's your number 5?
Okay, mine would be Return of the Jedi, the sail barge, where they're getting ready to push him into the Sarlacc pit, and Luke's looking around and gives the salute to R2-D2.
Okay. That's my number 2.
That's my number 3.
Because...
Not specifically the salute, just the entire scene.
That's my number 2 is the Jabba the Hutt barge scene. That whole fight scene is one of my favorite fight scenes in the whole franchise.
I like when Luke was jumping between ships and whatnot.
I like the whole build-up to it, because, shit's going down.
Yes.
It's going down. It's coming. It's coming.
You've seen the Family Guy spoofs of the...
No, I haven't.
They do that thing for that scene where they show Luke, look at R2, and they're just everyone's just looking around, extended out. So 2 minutes of the thing is just dun dun dun.
Are you ready?
I love the Jedi, that scene where the bad guy reaches out, the barge window opens, and he reaches out to get the gun. And Luke's just like,
okay, I thought that was stupid.
I like it. It's fun.
They Wilhelm screamed that, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They did. But I love the skiff guards. I love the guys on it. I actually have all the skiff guards. I bought them.
And it also, that scene showed how weak and pathetic Boba Fett actually is by getting killed, by getting his backpack hit.
He did not get killed. According to the books, he's still alive.
Yeah, those books aren't canon anymore.
I expect to see, at some point, Bubba Fett.
Bubba Fett?
Bubba Fett.
Bubba.
I like the Bubba Fett.
Big redneck.
I expect to see him in the new Star Wars. As a big surprise.
Do you think he's in Last Jedi? He's in the Solo movies. He's going to be in the Solo movies.
Yeah.
He'll be in Solo.
He's going to be in these new movies. It's going to be a surprise.
The rumor is that in the sequel to Solo, the second one, it's going to be a team-up movie with him and Solo trying to rob something. I'm not kidding.
But honestly,
That's the rumor going around, Solo and Boba Fett team up.
Boba Fett did nothing. and he got this huge following because he had cool armor.
He did?
And then they wrote it in that's the armor of the whatever race. Yeah, the entire everybody in that race wears that armor.
They are different versions.
Yeah, it's slightly different
He
colors.
also killed Lars and Owen Wilson. Or Lars and what's his wife's name? Baru.
In what?
That's the thing is the theory. Darth Vader, when he's talking to the bounty hunters, he looks at Boba Fett and he says, "No, was it dark? Don't
no
burn
more
that."
disintegration.
Yeah, no more disintegrations. They were disintegrated.
Yeah, that's a very weak thread.
I'm going with
especially because Boba Fett was hired to catch.
You know why? Because it makes it sound better.
Yeah,
that he's a bad guy.
Boba Fett was going after Han Solo.
Just saying, that's what we're going with. Anyways, move on. My number 5 is episode 3 from the prequels. Owen Wilson. Damn it. Obi-Wan Kenobi looking down at Anakin and the line, "You were supposed to be the chosen one." That was it.
Wow, I hated that. I thought the delivery was terrible.
Oh, I love that
line. The
scene.
line was terrible.
I love it.
The scene was,
You were the chosen one.
It looked so fake. His fake crying.
The lava around it looks bad.
Yeah.
I give you that. I love that you could just see his disappointment, like, I fucked up. I should have never trained this guy. The other fuck up is that he should have
poorly delivered.
I think I agree with you because that line, it should be more classic than what it is. You were the chosen one. To me, the word "chosen one," it just seems like that wasn't a well-written line. There could have been another way to convey that than saying "the chosen one." I mean, that just sounds so biblical almost.
Well, there's some biblical overviews in the show, in the movies. But I love that. I love that scene. Sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
My number 5 is from The Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. And it was the lightsaber fight between Rey and Finn versus Kylo Ren.
I do like that scene.
Especially when, like, Kylo Ren's going for the lightsaber and it flies past him into Rey's hands.
Yes.
And, yeah, that just said, okay, new badass here.
Yeah.
That was my number 5.
That's a good one. I like that one. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is pretty much the battle at Yavin. The first Death Star battle. Everybody flying around shooting, Perkins dying. God, so emotional.
He is your brother.
Yeah. But, I mean, the reason we like Star Wars in the first place, that big battle, Death Star goes boom.
Okay. The Death Star go what?
Boom.
Okay. Let's see. My number 4 is from Episode 4, Star Wars, New Hope. The Mos Eisley? Yeah. Cantina scene. You walk in, and I feel like you walk in, and you just go, oh, this is the universe we're going into now. There's nothing holding back. There's aliens everywhere.
Yeah.
And it just gives you the Star Wars feel like, okay, this is awesome. There's no limits, really, and everything's out there. And I love that scene just because it introduces you, especially like a new person watching it, this is the world that we're in now.
And the Cantina band plays that cool song.
I don't like you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Vroom.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here.
And it was so much better than Episode 2 when they go into the cantina on the planet and he's like, get rid of those kill sticks or whatever, those death sticks. Oh my God. Sorry, Obi-Wan. Stop worrying yourself about cigarettes. Okay, that's my number 4 is the cantina scene. What's your number 4?
It would be when Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's right after he dies in A New Hope, and he tells Luke to run, Luke. To me, that was like, wow, the Force is not more than just fighting ability. It's something more than that.
And that's a better saying of run than in Forrest Gump. So that's much better. It would have been really funny if Luke had braces on his legs and he couldn't run as hard.
Well, no, but the braces broke off as he ran.
Yes.
Because
two men with the braces on. What, you want boots to fall off? Run, Luke. My boots.
But it wasn't as good a running as Lola.
Oh, no, I just like that part. It just at that point you realize it's not.
It's like, but he's dead. But he's speaking.
Oh my God.
What's your number 3? Andrew?
It would be in Return of the Jedi when Luke and Yoda are in the hut and then Yoda dies. And he like disappears.
Okay.
Just fades away.
Yeah.
Rather fade away.
That's a pretty touching moment.
Yeah, it was okay. I have no soul, so it's no big deal.
Well, I think at that point, like, Luke's kind of like grown up a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And then from Empire Strikes Back, that he's no longer like this kid punk anymore. He's like taking the seriousness of it. And
I feel, and this might be bad, but I was actually kind of bored with the training and montage in Empire. I was a little bored.
Yeah,
I thought it went on too long. Now, with that being said...
It went on too long, although it was still only maybe a week's worth of...
Correct. It was needed. It was needed. It was better than the Green Lantern training that Hal Jordan got in the movie.
Yeah.
In his movie. Well, you fought Sinestro. Well, you're good to go. You trained with him. Or Kilowog.
You made Kilowog.
Yeah.
You made a construct out of your ring. You win.
Yep, you're good. You're good to train. You're fine. Go talk to Blake Lively.
The difference is... He didn't want Luke to leave. He said, your training's not finished. They said, yeah, you're finished. You can go protect the universe.
It's amazing Green Lantern wasn't better than it was. Anyways, number 3 for me is from Rogue One, is the Darth Vader hallway scene.
I forgot to put that.
yeah, that whole sequence is pretty nice.
And then the passing of the code, and then to Leia. I thought that was fun.
I meant to put that on my list, but I didn't. So I'll tie that with the Sarlacc pit. My number 3.
I just wrote that in when I realized it wasn't just original trilogy.
What's your number 3, Jeff?
My number 3 was the Sarlacc pit, and tied with Darth Vader's hallway march.
You just added it?
I just added it right now.
Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the Battle of Hoth.
That's an honorable mention
First
for me.
see those AT-ATs.
Yes. Because you don't know what's making that sound.
Yeah, and then...
No, that's... Yeah, as a kid, you're just... The first time you saw that, you're like, oh my gosh.
And the guy saved the ice cream maker, the ice cream machine, so it's all good. He's running away. Yeah, the Battle of Hoth was good. I'll give you that one. My number 2 is the Jabba the Hutt barge scene. So, what's your number 2?
Empire, I Am Your Father.
Luke, I am your father.
You don't do it justice.
That's from Tommy Boy. I was quoting Tommy.
Oh, okay. Could you tell us that next time? Because your impressions are awful.
Well, see, that's the thing.
They're awful.
He didn't say, Luke, I am your father in Empire, but it was said in Tommy Boy, so that was my impression.
What's he saying? Empire.
No, I am your father.
Okay. What's your number 1, Andrew?
A New Hope. Death Star scene where Obi-Wan tells him to use the Force, and he turns off his targeting computer.
He turned off his targeting computer.
Yeah.
Luke. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Use the Force, Luke.
My number 1 is I hope he did.
Of course you did.
Well, it's all from the same movie.
Okay.
It's Return of the Jedi, Luke versus Vader and Emperor. I like that lightsaber scene. That's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's good.
And the Battle of Endor. I really do love the Battle of Endor. I love how they're losing, and then they start coming back. Chewie gets into the AT-ST. I love that.
You like that the Ewoks were the saviors.
I have no issue with that. I don't hate the Ewoks as much as everyone else.
Yeah, I agree. I don't hate the Ewoks either.
I don't hate the Ewoks either, but I wouldn't put it as number 1.
They're above the Gungans. Okay? So
doesn't take much.
Thank you, George Lucas. You raised the bar. So there you go. You put the Gungans in, everybody loves the Ewoks.
He lowered the bar.
Well, you did with that. So that's my number 1. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is from Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, God, the whole movie?
No.
Oh.
It's the
Duel of Fates?
Duel of Fates with Darth Maul?
Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I do like Darth Maul walking back and forth like a caged lion, like just walking back and forth, caged tiger, waiting for them. And Qui-Gon just sits there, calm. I don't know why they had those protective force fields in there.
Yeah,
it was not very well constructed.
Those force fields were to vent stuff coming out of the reactor there.
Oh, okay.
Close them up, and then they release some, and then close them again. You know, that's what they're there for.
Good for you. Good for you.
At least that's what
they should explain that. Listen, we're going to go in here to chase Darth Maul. There's some closed reactor vents things they're going to come across. Okay? That's allow the air out. Then you can run.
You know what? It's too complicated, Obi-Wan. Just read the instruction manual. Wow, thanks. I had honorable mention. I had Escape from Nema Outpost, which is Rey and Finn running to get away in episodes Force Awakens episode 7, and then they were like, "Oh, that's a piece of junk. Take that ship. Oh shoot, take that one." And it's the Millennium Falcon. I also had Bottle of Hoth and Solo rescuing Luke on Hoth. I thought that was really cool because it showed that he actually was not in it for himself at that point. He grew from the last one. He grew
between since the last time you saw him.
And I like the monster too.
My honorable mention was Kylo Ren's temper tantrum.
That was funny, and the stormtroopers walking backwards. Just keep moving.
Keep moving. Goes crazy because that shows you what you're dealing with Kylo Ren.
I love that scene. That was a good scene.
I hated it.
Really?
It seemed too childish.
That's the point. That's the point. He's
I know it is, but I like my villains not to be childish.
Oh, I like my villains with flaws.
I like my villains not named Kevin James, but we don't.
I guess I like Darth Vader too much. That's my problem.
Okay.
Darth Vader, we never see him do that.
You mean Grandpa?
No, you're right. And I didn't want to. I mean, Kylo Ren's got to be different than Darth Vader. Otherwise, it would be even more of a retelling of the first movie. I mean, Kylo Ren is really what makes the difference on why The Force Awakens is different than New Hope, because your villain
is different.
Is different.
And he reports to Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, but I think it was kind of a little overdone, though. Like, he kept doing it. I think if you just did, like, you made the point that this guy can't control himself, he smashes a TV screen or whatever, a screen or a monitor, one swipe or whatever, and you just go, okay, this guy's a little unstable here.
I think they wanted to show he was really unstable because, then the meeting with Han later on. Yeah.
I think you're going to have a lot more temper tantrums in the new one, too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a temper
There's a commercial, there's a trailer, and he's smashing something.
I'd rather have temper tantrums than Luke going, "Well, I want to go to the academy."
I killed Womp Rat. Shut up, Luke. God. Could somebody take him down? Jeez, oh, Pete.
My honorable mentions would be We're Home when they, in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're old. Or as Blake thought, he said, "Chewie, we're old."
He really thought that was
when he first saw the trailer, and he's like, "Wow."
I enjoyed that scene very much. I mean, that brought a tear in my eye. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, we're here!" And the other one would be Vader, Emperor, and Luke in that final battle.
Yeah,
where Vader looking at the Emperor, looks back at Luke, looks at the Emperor, and then he picks the Emperor.
But it felt like that was like a 20-minute wait, and it was like, "Come on, Vader, your son's getting killed over there. Let's hurry this up." I thought it was a lot longer, but I understood why.
But he was Vader.
I know.
How many years had he been under, Palpatine's control?
I'll be honest, if I was Hayden Christensen, I probably would want to keep that mask on, too, for a while. So probably would want to forget about my early years. Oh, my wife died in childbirth because she was sad. Fucking bad.
Died of sadness.
She did. Hey, there's my kids. I'm too sad about Anakin. I feel bad because he hates sand. Let's see. It gets everywhere.
Hey, there's a second kid. Shh, don't tell him.
Okay, so Dev from Shot of History has Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan meet Jar Jar Binks. Qui-Gon, Padme, and Jar Jar Binks meet Anakin for the first time. Pod racing. Queen Amidala moves the vote for no confidence in the Senate, and Jar Jar Binks motions to Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine.
So obviously this is a joke.
Honorable mentions: killing of the younglings, Obi-Wan having the high ground, and Geono's Coliseum scene. I feel like he's joking with us here.
Dav? No.
Let's see here. I did put a nice little gif of the Buzz Lightyear. You're mocking me, aren't you? Let's see here. Let's see. But seriously, he said, I got a real answer. Combing the desert. Wait a minute. Going ludicrous speed. Jamming the radar. Liquid shorts. And Pizza Hut. Shut up!
Did they announce they're making a sequel for that last year?
Yeah, God.
Where's it at? Because
I don't want a sequel.
Yeah, no.
They made a cartoon of it. They made a cartoon on Spaceballs.
Did they really?
Yeah. Let's see here. Sean Kuhn from Pittsburgh Nerd. Bengals kicked your Steelers' ass last night. Obi-Wan, you were my brother monologue. See?
Yeah.
Luke in the Force Tree, episode 5.
The training. Yeah, Sean, you're hurting me. Your Pittsburgh logic is not working.
Mace Windu kills Jango Fett. Well,
It was nice to see Mace Windu do something.
Fall out a window.
That was a waste of Sam Jackson.
I'm your father scene.
That was a good scene.
And I love you. I know. Great scene. I thought about that one. Chris Richardson from 365 had Phantom Menace, Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan versus Qui-Gon, the Duel of Fate.
Yeah, we'll agree with him on that.
Emperor Strikes Back, Han Solo being frozen in carbonite. 3, Return of the Jedi, Emperor Palpatine monologuing like a son of a bitch.
You caught me monologuing again.
Number 2, Rogue One badass Vader scene.
Yep.
Number 1, Empire Strikes Back, Millennium Falcon being chased through the asteroid field. I like that one. And finally, Besotted Geek. He's a huge Star Wars fan. Hates Star Trek, though. Kirk admires Enterprise for 20 minutes. Greedo shoots first. Anything with Jar Jar. Anakin talking about sand. And pottery. So I think he's fucking with us, too.
You think?
No, that's not right.
Anakin talking about sand.
I don't like it. It gets everywhere. Stop it. It's just sand. You can't do anything.
You didn't grow up on a desert planet.
No, but still, you can make glass out of it. Speaking of that, did you ever take your glass making kit?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to do that in the new year.
Okay.
When things are less hectic.
Bad idea of the week, number 590, getting dengue fever like Blake has this week. So he will be back next week.
He probably shouldn't be breeding tsetse flies at home.
No, should not. Or at least have the mosquito netting. That would probably be something. I'll be honest, you could probably go down to Red Cross and get one. I mean, I think they have them there, Blake. So hopefully that doesn't break up his circuitry.
Free mosquito netting.
Next week, that's about it. Andrew, thanks for coming along.
Thank you, Andrew.
September 12th through the 14th. Get your tickets now.
Yes, keep it.
You're not on sale yet.
We're getting ready to get your tickets. Reserve the date.
Yes. September 12th through the 14th. Blake. Anyways, so Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history of not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. The history of bad ideas. Podcast.
You were listening to Hobie.
Addendum.
Naming this episode.
I got a couple.
All right, shoot.
I'm VCRing it.
All right.
Arbor Day is the worst.
Arbor Day is the worst.
Hugh Hefner of the Sith. Bring Mutt back. Homeless Tom Hanks. And Cliff Notes to Jedi Training. I do like the Cliff Notes one.
Let's see. I got Death Star Go Boom. Spacey's Playhouse. 3-year-old Roid Rage.
3-year-old Roid Rage.
And Frog Holocaust.
I don't think I'm putting anything with Holocaust on our episode.
You never want to put Holocaust and Nazis on our title.
We're a history podcast, that some people think, so that would be good. Let's see here. I like the Hugh Hefner of the Sith. I do like that one.
It's not bad. What else did you
The Cliff Notes to Jedi Training.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like the 3-year-old Roid Rage. I do like that. My daughter was pretty mean.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, you got any favorites of those?
Nope.
Okay, good. Best color man in the business for nothing. Major League. Let's see here. What you got?
Spacey's Playhouse.
Spacey's Playhouse it is.
Oh, seriously?
Yep, there it is. There you go.
Okay.